let it go. Too scared to just let it go. Tomorrow we build. Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will, though. Give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go.
Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. We can start it again. We can start it.
Don't stop the rhythm. 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 love you.
Did we take it too far to say that we could not pretend now? Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home. And I want something I can hold, that's worth this waiting cold. And I want something that is real, something to make me feel alive. You wanna know my feelings every time I look in your eyes. Baby, I can feel your energy, it's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I. Everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I.
I can't be heard. Why did it say I wasn't muted? It said, what the hell? Welcome to RFDL. Week 6, day 2. I'm with Fire Streak and Docky, as always. How are we doing today, guys?
Doing good.
I'm feeling amazing, especially since we started off the stream with a
Don't say
healthy
it.
dose of NA production. We
Uh.
wouldn't want it any other way. Let's go.
I don't agree with this at all, but you know what? It happens. We had some really good games yesterday. Let's go ahead and talk about them a little bit as we start the day. Gonna get straight into it. Let's talk about Persian 1 and Awapta Gaming. This one definitely not going the way I think we expected it to. Getting straight into how Awapta bringing in a sub in Golden, and Persian 1 having to bring in a last-minute sub in Devil. And it just seemed like Devil was the right choice for them, as Persian 1 took it in a sweep, I believe. And Awapta Gaming just not just clicking as well during that series.
Yeah, I mean, Persian 1 played really well. It seemed like Devil was really meshing with their rotations really well, and I think that benefited them as the series went on. We did see some really solid play from both teams, but yeah, Persian 1, they earned the win. They just played really well, so well done to them.
I gotta say, like, it was really close. All coming down to, like, 1-goal games, I think, besides the first one. So, could have definitely went either way. Especially that game 2. That game 2 looked really good from both teams, but just at the end of the day, Persian 1 were able to find the opportunities. The Docky, I'm betting you guys are looking forward to next week a little bit and getting back on track with your series.
I mean, I didn't have my boy T-Park with me, so it's always an adjustment. I've gotten very used to playing around them, so I always have to make adjustments. But I mean, I was really, I guess not proud, but I was happy to have. I guess, yeah, proud's fine too. Golden for playing, and Golden played well. So even though we did get swept, I had a lot of fun playing with them, and yeah, it was fun. We had a good time, even though we weren't able to pull that one through. Definitely not upset about it. It was kind of unfortunate, especially those last 2 games. They kind of did not go the way that I think it was anticipated, but it was pretty unlucky, in my opinion. So yeah.
And then we moved on to our second match. Once again, congratulations to Persian 1 on winning that. That was a tough victory to be had. But we will move on to our next one with another member of the desk, this time Fire, playing against BDS. And BDS has looked very dominant over the past couple of weeks, and they just continue their streak here. Just showing why they are such a good team. And unfortunately for Dignipaws, they just they couldn't quite get anything really working too well in that series. Docky, what were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to contain that offensive pressure that that BDS team puts on. Yeah, like I think we talked about during the casting that it felt like Dignipaws was kind of hoping that they would mess up and try to get a counterattack going. Obviously, that wasn't working out for them, and when those shots that they were connecting on are going in, it's just so hard to win. So, I mean, even though they did lose the series, I think Dignipaws still played well, and I'm sure that they feel, that there's things that they can take from that series to, look at as things that they did well. So they should be pretty, it looks like they had fun at the very least.
And then, yeah, Fire, what were your thoughts after yesterday?
I mean, it was a tough match for us. I know our players weren't super happy with the way they played. However, I'm not disappointed with our team. As I said right after the match, BDS is a really tough team. They're a really strong team. They've been on fire lately, and I think the biggest thing for us is going to be keeping our mental up after a couple of losses here, and I'm gonna need to keep everyone's spirits up, and we'll need to get some scrims in and some more games in with each other, just so we can start really meshing together a little bit more. Because, I mean, Pictus only been on the roster for barely 2 weeks now, 3 weekends, but yeah, basically 2 weeks since we picked Pictus up almost immediately before that the first match that he appeared in. So, I mean, we're still a really green roster. We're figuring out our rotations, and we'll get there. So, I'm optimistic. But yeah, well played to BDS.
Yeah, and then we moved on to our final match of the day. And you can see already, Twisted Tails off to a really tight start in that game number 1. But then Lumamasi just started waking up. And I gotta say, Lumamasi looking really good once again. Avid back on the field, showing off once again why they have been making themselves a pretty good duo in the last couple of weeks. Obviously, they didn't get the best result that they wanted last week, and Twisted Tails, fresh off of that win from week 5, they wanted to repeat that. Unfortunately for them, not able to do it, but they definitely had a very good series here against Lumosity.
Man, yeah, it was it was so close. That game 4 that felt like it could go to a game 5. Just so unfortunate not able to do it. Again, Twisted Tails continues to be a relatively unlucky team. Just not quite able to get as close as they make the games really close, but sometimes, unfortunately, it just does not go in their favor. But yeah, like you were saying, Lumosity looking pretty good. They've looked pretty good all season. Obviously, early season stuff's always really difficult, but obviously Airlock's a great player, and he was able to warm up by 1v1ing me for a while, so I'm sure that helped. A joke. But no, yeah, the good team. Airlox is obviously incredibly talented. But yeah, Twisted Tail should not be bad about themselves. They all played so well.
Yeah, I mean, Twisted Tails, I feel like that's a team where they get like 1 or 2 plays that just go a little bit differently from them, and they are like, they're 3-3, or you know, right in the middle of the pack. And I mean, they have nothing to be ashamed of. They're playing really well. They just gotta keep playing to the best of their ability, and they will end up picking up some wins here in the near future, I think. So, yeah, I mean, Lumosity playing well as always. They've been looking really strong the past couple of weeks, especially since they've been able to play with the GC2 and Avid rather than any of the GC ones. That step up in rank really seems to be playing in their favor. Not that the GC ones have been playing poorly by any means, but yeah, it does seem like that rank up gives them that final push that they need to get over the edge, and they've been playing really well, so hats off to them.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that they're starting to look even better and better as a team, and I think that they're gonna continue to pop off and show up in these later stages. And of course, they always have the mid-season tournament to look forward to, and the winner of that gets a automatic bid into playoffs. So even if league play doesn't go your way, if you can win that mid-season tournament, which I think every single team here is possible of doing at this point, I think that, you know, doesn't matter what kind of season you have, as long as you play your best, you'll still find yourselves in the playoffs at the end of the day, and then you just have that last tournament to kind of win and try to win the entire season. So I would definitely say at this point, definitely focus on trying to finish off your league play in a really good place. Try to get a few more wins and focus on your 2v2 and 1v1, because that's going to really matter going into the mid-season tournament. But after those matches, we do have our leaderboard updated for the day, so we will go ahead and show you guys that right now. You can see there were a few moves, not too many. Persian 1 has moved up into the second place spot, now being 4-2. BDS right behind them with a few more games lost, so they're going to be in third. Some other teams that have moved up, Lumamasi in 5th, being 3-3. Awapta Gaming in 7th right now. That is because they are lower on game diff than Fox Clan, who has not played their series yet, so that could change coming up. Not entirely sure where that's gonna where they're going to be until their match is played. And then Dignipaws moves down to 10th and Twisted Tails back in 12th. Just under Protogen Rebellion there. So not too many changes going on the leaderboard. We're going to have to see where we're at the end of the day. But we've got a few more packed games for you today. Let's check out the schedule. As you can see, all of our matches for the week. You can cross out the ones we haven't done yet. Today, we are going to be starting off with Cloud9 versus Dignipaws, followed up with Black Bunny Gaming versus Fox Clan, and ending the day with Protogen Rebellion versus X3 Tactics. Going to be some really excellent games to be had today, guys. What are you looking forward to for today?
I mean, I think all these matches have the potential to be really solid matchups that are really entertaining to watch. However, I guess one that I'm looking forward to in particular is that Protogen Rebellion and X3 matchup. I think Protogen has a really good opportunity to maybe turn some heads, get a solid upset under their belt, and really kind of mix things up for the league. And, you know, you never know what can happen in a match. All of the teams are so close in skill level to each other, and honestly, that's a storyline that I think would be really entertaining to see play out.
Yeah, you just stole my pick. I mean, that was the last place in the league versus the first place in the league. And what I think makes that interesting to me, at least to go off on that, is that, like you said, it is close. So that I think either team could win, which I think shows how tight the league really is. And that, like, the 12th place going against the first place, you'd think in any other league would be a free win for the first place, but I don't think that's the case here. So, yeah, that kind of shows how, you know, even if you're in last place, you can still beat the first place team. You know, if you bring yourself to it. So, but I will pick another one because, like I said, you stole my pick. So, for me, the BBG Fox Clan, I'm sure that'll be extremely entertaining. We saw Fox Clan absolutely pop off. Even though they lost, they played so well. So many clippable moments against that BDS team. So many good plays. So I'm sure that'll be very entertaining.
Yeah, I can't really say my own match because that would be biased. So I guess I'll steal one of your guys' answers, and I gotta say X3 Tactics and Protogen. As you said, Docky, in this league, the last place team could beat the first place team on any given day if everything goes right. So I definitely think that one's going to be very exciting to watch. But we've got a few matches to go before that. And before we start talking about them, you guys have been asking us for some top 5 plays of last week, and we didn't show them for week 4, but we got them for week 5, guys. So let's go ahead and talk about the top 5 plays from week number 5. And we were spoiled for choices in this one, so it was hard to pick a lot of these. But for number 5, we're going to start off with T-Park and Gala getting this incredible pinch all the way across the field against Protogen Rebellion to tie up the game with an excellent pinch. Definitely a bit unexpected as the game was going on, but it just bounces so perfectly to get that. Number 4 is going to be Hammer, because you know BBG had to get on this list somewhere, and Hammer just gets the perfect catch to the flip reset over Sylvie's head against Dignipaws here. And you can just see as he comes up for this one, he just gets the perfect light touch and is able to follow that up so easily. And that's what you expect to see out of Hammer. And then we'll move on to play number 3 of the week. It is going to be Javian getting this pass off from Taka to beat out BDS on the play. And Taka, you gotta look at this touch he gets off the ceiling, gets the second touch right past through to Fuzzy, and that's just a perfect follow-up for Javian. Going on to play number 2, it is going to be Reverb in the same series as our match of the week had a lot of great moments. You can see what a great flip reset into the double tap, perfect pop-up, and Taka kind of just puts it on the platter for him, gets the flip reset, over the head of the rest of the Fox Clan defense. And then we move on to play number 1, and it is going to be Liska getting the perfect bounce to start this off, gets the flip reset, fire goes up for that block, and Liska just has the perfect angle to dunk that into the back of the net. And that is going to be our top 5 plays of the week, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. It was some definitely good plays coming out, and you know, as I said, we were very spoiled for choices on those series. I think there were so many more clips that we could actually pick from, but you know, getting it down to 5 is kind of hard, and I think we got a really good top 5 for that last week.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I feel like we could have made a whole top 5 just out of that VDS Fox Clan series. Luckily, we did do that was the match of the week, so they did have a full video, like a middle video dedicated to that. So, but yeah, there was so many. I mean, there was so many good clips. So yeah, we definitely got spoiled, like you said last week.
The amount of times that I'm ending up on the wrong side of these clip montages, I'm starting to think that whoever's making these clips might like seeing me getting clipped on. But no, amazing plays. There were definitely a lot of them to choose from, and yeah, Docky. Maybe I'll need to hit a clip or two. That way you can put me in on one of the on the right side of the clip montage. No, I kid. I kid. Great clips by everyone, and some really great plays last week. So, well done to everyone.
Yeah, I have to agree, but let's stop talking about last week. Let's get back into this week. More specifically, our next matchup, which is going to be Cloud9 versus Dignipaws. And Dignipaws just having a bit of a big roster change in the last couple of weeks. They're still trying to find their footing. And Cloud9 last week, playing against X3 Tactics, did not get the result that they were hoping for. So both of these teams playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder for this week. Definitely going to want to try and come back and get a win here on the day. What do you guys think about the coming match?
I'm excited. I think that I want to see. I've always been a big supporter of Runeski's squad. They obviously made some big changes, so obviously that's gonna have effects on everybody. But they have so much potential, and with Yuki, who is a fantastic player, I want to see them play well. They did not. They were not able to do that last week just due to maybe kind of growing pains. But I'd love to see them play to their potential. And same with Cloud9. I think that we've been seeing Voltec every week playing better and better. Fade's own goaling significantly less than we saw last season, which is crazy to me. And then Factual, Factual is just an anchor that helps any team have that kind of solid rotation. So there's a lot of potential, I think, for both teams.
I mean, Dignipaws, a really solid team. Sylvie, legend, great mechs. Yuki, we saw what Yuki can do last year. We're all very well aware of what Yuki brings to the table. And they have Nova, I believe, as their kind of anchor, that lower ranked player that still has some really solid contributions to bring to the table. So they're a solid team. But I mean, this Cloud9 roster, you got Voltac in there making some great plays. You have Fade, doing mouse things, doing squeak things. And then let me tell you though, Docky, my old teammate in Factual, Data, absolute legend, the stalwart on defense for this Cloud9 roster, and somebody who just so solid on their backline, and can get some really good accuracy on some of those shots. So I mean, I think this Cloud9 roster is only getting stronger and stronger week to week, just like we're seeing from Dignipaws, and should be a showdown for the ages.
Yeah, I have to agree. It should be a great match. So let's start talking about these teams. And let's start off with talking about my team, Cloud9, because you guys keep talking about Voltec. Well, here's a little surprise for you guys. You're not going to see him today. No, Voltec is not going to be here. In fact, we are going to have Factual, myself, and we are bringing in Infernal for today's match. Voltec was not able to play, unfortunately, on the day. So Infernal is going to be here to play for the team, and Infernal, having a pretty decent series against X3 Tactics with BDS in his first sub in earlier in the season, but he's definitely going to want to try and get a win today. What do you guys think with Infernal joining the roster here?
I mean, Infernal's good, and has shown to be good even, even more recently. So I think that's probably the best pickup you probably could get, I think, to kind of fill out for that shooter, kind of on-ball playmaker that Voltec kind of is. So yeah, I actually think that will impact the rotations not at all. If anything, it'll be a pretty smooth in and out. So yeah, that's a great pickup. Infernal's an awesome player.
I think the entirety of Season 0, we only saw Infernal coming in as a free agent one time during the entire season, if I remember correctly. So it's good to see him being able to make an appearance for the second time this early on in the season. And I do think that he's going to fit into these rotations really well, as you were saying, Docky. But I mean, Fade and Factual, still two very solid players. Fade able to establish so much pressure on that offensive side of the ball, being a very pressure heavy player, but also having a lot to bring to the table on the defensive end. And then, I mean, Factual, able to take those shots of opportunity, very good at just finding openings in the defense and taking advantage of them, while also being a stalwart, especially at that C3 rank for the for Cloud9 this season. So, I mean, I think this team is going to perform very well despite having a substitute in there, and we'll just need to see how it works out for them. But I'm optimistic for this team.
Yeah, I think it should go well. I have never played with Infernal myself prior to this match, so I'm very excited to see what he can bring to the table. And I do know that he's been playing for his collegiate team for the past year or so, so I'm expecting to see some good things coming out from him. Definitely makes him a notable pickup on the day, I'd think. He was actually doing a photo shoot earlier for his college team, so he's been living that life and putting the grind on, so I'm very excited to see how well he can play in this match. But Cloud9 isn't the only roster on this match. We do have a great team coming up against them in Dignipaws, and as we said, they had a bit of a roster switch up lately, and they're still working on it, but they're looking pretty good. Sylvie, Yuki, and Nova Fox going to be the team for this one, and Yuki apparently doesn't have stats, although I think they should have stats. I wonder why that has not changed. Maybe that's on me. I'm not sure if it is or not, but I think they still look really good. Even though they say they don't have stats, but no, they're a good team.
Yeah, they definitely are a really solid team, and I do not have Yuki's stats on hand. I'm trying to pull those up as we speak, Fade. But yeah, they're a really solid team. As I said, I think their rotations will work well with each other. I'm seeing that Yuki has no stats in the master sheet, so I am not sure why that is. However, yeah, you see, they're a very well rounded team. You see Sylvie getting that presser role that shows he's putting on a lot of pressure for their team, getting a lot of shots on target. And then you have Nova with the setter role. So Nova really showing up, getting a lot of those assists, making a lot of good passing plays for the team, and setting up those two upper ranks to be able to do their thing. I think that's a great role for Nova on this team, and I think it will serve them well in the long run. So I think this is a really solid team. I think they have a lot to bring to the table, and they should put on a good show today. Docky?
Oh, sorry. I was reading numbers. I got distracted. I pulled an Airlux. Got caught in the math. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I guess like you said, they have so much potential, and I think that if they're able to reach that, they can be one of the best teams in the league. I'm still a big supporter in that potential, and I'd like to see, I think, some more offensive prowess from Sylvie. But just the game sense on all three of those players is very high. So if they're able to lock that in, I think they'll have a lot of success.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that they're going to be looking pretty good in this series. I hope that they do. As I've said constantly, even though I'm playing them, I think that Sylvie and Yuki coming together as a team is a very scary aspect. Something very scary to think about. Having two highly mechanical players, if they can really come together as a team, I think that they are going to be a duo that is up there with the likes of, you know, the ones that we've been seeing in Corrupt and Shy, in Avid and Aerolax. Like, they've got Taka and Javian. Like, we've got so many examples of these really good duos coming out. And Yuki and Sylvie could definitely have the potential to reach those heights. But we just got to see what they can bring to the table for this match. But Fire, would you like to let us know what the predictions are for this coming week?
Yeah, the predictions, if I remember correctly, were a split decision. And yeah, they ended up being Fades, you are not able to predict on this one for obvious reasons, but Daki chose Dignipaws 3-0. So in a 3-game series, predicting the sweep is Daki. I chose Claude 9 in a 5-game series. Rue the Fuzzy, who was our guest last week, chose Dignipaws in 4, while Aerolax chose Dignipaws in 5. So I was the lone Claude 9 believer in this one, while everyone else was hopping on the Dignipaws train. So yeah, we'll need to see how it plays out, but it's sure to be a good matchup.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we are about ready to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and erase myself from existence. And we are going to get this next game started. Get the casters already. But guys, without further ado, it's time for the first match of the day. It's time for Claude 9 versus Dignipaws. Gonna see which one of these teams can take the dub today. Will Sylvie's team finally be able to coalesce, or will Claude 9 claw their way back from defeat from last week? Have fun, guys.
Well, thank you, Fade. And yeah, definitely an interesting matchup between these two things. You have Claude 9 being the much more balanced team, while Dignipaws is the more top-heavy team. We'll need to see how that works out for these two rosters. Immediately, we're seeing some pressure from Claude 9 ringing out, but Dignipaws is quick to counter it. Infernal trying to play to the side, doesn't quite get the touch he wants, and maybe some awkwardness there. Fade and Infernal bumping each other on the back wall. We see Infernal taking possession, trying to press it forward, a bit low on boost. Going for the air dribble nonetheless. Doesn't quite work out the way he wants. Sylvie getting a flip reset, and Factual immediately getting the dunk to try to keep pressure on. And we're seeing some ping pong early on in this game, and no team seems to have a clear advantage.
Yeah, maybe some of, like you said, some of that new team jitters as you try to get into the rotations. I know Fade mentioned that they have never played with Infernal before. So you might think that going into that just playing with Voltec, you'd be a little bit more used to the playstyle. Obviously there are differences and little micro changes with the GC2s. Obviously not everyone plays exactly the same, so rotations are always difficult. Again though, Dignipaws is looking to be pretty solid. They're definitely looking like an improvement from last week, as their offense is already looking to be so incredibly strong. Claude 9 team doing a very good job of making sure that they do not allow the pressure to be very constant. Only allowing a few shots on their own net. They're doing a good job of defending it. And making sure that it gets out of their half before things get dangerous. So as I say that, Sylvie on the Octane, which is a choice that I don't think I've seen Sylvie make in a while. Good defense though from Claude 9 is putting a stop to a lot of these offensive opportunities that Dignipaws is happening, and the counterattack. Not really counterattack here, but just a really good play. Infernal causes a double commit, and that is what Factual does best. Takes the shot on net. Bar down. 3:15 left. Claude 9 is up 1.
I mean, Factual's so good at that, just getting the shot perfectly bar down for his team, and that's exactly what you want to see out of Claude 9, especially from Factual on that offensive half of the field. He's so good at placing those shots that may look easy, but a lot of people will find themselves a little bit out of position for. So we'll play to Factual to put that one in the net. Now we see Dignipaws getting some early pressure. Factual trying to reverse that, but Factual gets a good dunk. That's going to put it in the Dignipaws half. We're seeing Infernal trying to get a 50. Doesn't get the flip he wants, so he's going to need to drop back. Ends up getting catch on sidewall. Great pass from Factual. And we're seeing a little bit of pressure come out from Cloud9. It looks like they're able to maintain some pressure on this possession. They're going to be wanting to capitalize on this. Sylvie trying to get a reset out of his back half and is going to end up working out in the long run. Sylvie and Yuki kind of double committing on that, but it's not going to bite them as they're able to get some pressure, and Yuki gets a great shot on net, being able to place that right back into the net after sitting in the midfield. Great pass to Yuki, and Yuki, great shot to finish that one off.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was intentional, but my goodness, the ability to get up to that, read that pinch out, and put that on net. That's what we were talking about before the match started. That's the potential that these more mechanical players that we see on Dignipaws have. Any of those pop-outs can be dangerous for Cloud9. As both Yuki and Sylvie are so good at turning those single balls into goals, but Fade also good at turning open nets into goals. As I'm not even sure what happened. I think we see a demo from Factual. Okay, well, yeah, this is a demo from Factual. And my goodness, fantastic play from Cloud9 to give themselves the lead back. There seems maybe some typing happening. Should be all right.
Fade's coming in clutch with the servers NA production storyline right there. You know, it happens, but it doesn't look like either team's on too poor of ping for this game, so it should be manageable. But we're seeing, once again, a lot of midfield play coming out from both of these teams. Neither of them getting quite an advantage early on after that kickoff. Fades trying to get into the opposing team's half, but Sylvie's going to do a great job possessing that all the way to the Cloud9 backline, and is going to end up establishing some pressure. It's kind of caught up in the corner as Yuki tries to take it around, gets 50'd by Factual, and they're trying to pop it middle, not able to get any effective shot on net because Cloud9 defense is showing up once again, just like we saw 2 weeks ago. A good demo on Yuki, but that's just going to clear out some space for Nova to take the ball to the back wall. And we're seeing a little bit of back and forth once again. Are you seeing any advantages for Dignipaws right now, Docky?
I mean, I'd love to see some more offensive. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that kind of put an end to my train of thought there. Is a fantastic save. That surely was a goal. Yuki somehow manages to get perfect touch on that to sky that above the crossbar. It's still dangerous though. Not a whole lot of boost on the side of Dignipaws as they are able to pick up some big boost beans. I need to see maybe a little bit more continuous pressure. They're so good at doing that when they have the ability. Unfortunately though, Cloud9's defense has been shutting down any of their attacks. As that every single 50 it feels like is clearing all the way to the midfield, and Dignipaws is having to rush to it to try to get it back on offense. It's just not working in their favor. Once again, the low boost, and that ball will pop out awkwardly. I don't know if Yuki will be able to get to that in time, and they are not, unfortunately, for Dignipaws. Cloud9 takes game one. Both well played from both teams, but Cloud9 looking to be very strong and shutting down Dignipaws' offense.
Yeah, that was very well played by Cloud9. Their defense is looking really solid, very reminiscent of what we saw 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, if they're able to keep that up, they're very tough to get past, despite their unlucky performance from last week, where the defense kind of had a little bit more of a difficult time. But I'm really happy to see Infernal fitting into these rotations well, and is playing really well right now on this team. So, hopefully we get to see a bit more of that as we push forward in this series. So, I mean, Cloud9 looking good right now.
Yeah, like you were saying, yeah, Infernal's been a little bit quiet, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, as you kind of want those hiring players to not necessarily be the focal point of the team, but to be more just consistently where you need them to be. And I mean, Infernal did a very good job of that, and Cloud9 as a team was able to rotate so well. Like I was saying before, Dignipaws just not able to continue their offense, so we'll have to see if they're able to maybe get some more shots on net moving forward as we go into game 2. We'll have to see though.
Yeah, we'll definitely be looking to see them, Dignipaws, get a couple more shots on net. I saw a couple of opportunities for them to do so that they just ended up missing. So it's definitely, they weren't bad misses, just very slight misses, as we see a little bit of a missed shot there by Nova, but that's okay. Nova is a very strong champ 1, and I'm sure that won't mess them up too much going forward. We see Yuki getting a 50 as Sylvie tries to push it forward, unable to get it past the last defender as Yuki takes a shot on net. Factual, stalwart on defense. We see Cloud9 trying to get a quick counter, unable to secure the pressure though. Nova is going to get a good bump on Infernal to open up some space for his team. They get an open net opportunity, but not quite there as fast as he wanted to be. As we see Sylvie going for the mechanical double tap, drops it down, and that's a fantastic shot from Sylvie, as we are so used to seeing him do.
Oh man, that's exactly what you want to see out of Sylvie. Taking those opportunities and scoring them, and you could tell immediately as soon as the ball hit the backboard, Sylvie had that read, boosting back to make sure that he was able to get to it. And I mean, like you were saying, that's what we want to see out of Sylvie. When you have those ball opportunities to score those more mechanical solo plays, you need him to be converting those, and such a good job on that one. They take the lead here. We'll see if they're able to continue this though. It struggled to keep that momentum in game 1 after the score, so we'll hope to see them maybe get a little bit of a cushion for themselves. I'm sure they'd love to get a 2-goal lead. As it stands though, 1-goal lead is an awkward touch, goes forward. Yuki again, very good on the defense, making sure that one doesn't go into their own net. This is still very dangerous for Dignipaws. Not able to convert, as all of Cloud9 is low on boost, so not able to turn on that one as quickly as they would want. Have to see though, Cloud9's doing such a good job of turning back those midfield plays into offense. Dignipaws not able to do that. They're trying to get to it, just unfortunately they're just not able to do it quickly enough. They do not have the boost. There's an awkward touch from Nova, comes forward. A backflip from Factual. Yuki misses though. This is going to make it a little bit awkward for just about everybody on the pitch. Should be okay though, as Dignipaws does have that 1-goal lead, so they're not stressing too much. It might be an open net opportunity here, comes forward. Fade does a good job to get back, but Yuki gets a really good touch. It's a very good passing play from Sylvie and Yuki to give them that 2-goal lead they desperately wanted. Fade not enough boost to get up to that. With 2:48 left, Dignipaws up 2.
I mean, yeah, solo plays are really great, but those passing plays are what we love to see, especially in the 3v3 format. So, yeah, it looks like Cloud9 tried to get a quick play on offense, unable to convert on it, though. We see Cloud9 trying to control it out of their half, but Yuki's going to get a favorable 50, and they try to get a second one, unable to convert it, though. Good 50 by Sylvie as they try to take possession, but Cloud9 is seeming to get the 50s in their advantage as they're able to chip away down the field on this Dignipaws defense. We see a good shot come out. Infernal getting his first goal of the series and doing it in spectacular fashion with a absolute slammer of a shot.
Yeah, it's a great catch from Fade and immediately brings it mid, and Infernal's so quick to that. It's so much power off the touch. Nova tried to get upward in time, but just not quite quick enough. Those shots are so hard to read. You know you have to jump for it. And when it's that quick, you kind of just have to guess. Fortunately for Dignipaws, Nova did guess wrong. But for that cushion coming to help them out here, as they still are up 1. Definitely not the end of the world. All that goal to go in. I'm sure they would love to get that cushion back because they're already starting to make some of these plays forward, but Cloud9's offense is just so good. So good all series long at turning the ball into offense. Every single touch they get seems to be a touch forward, making Dignipaws a little bit more awkward than I'm sure they would like to be. The ball just continues to float dangerously, and that leads to a Fade's goal. I'm not quite sure what happened here. The ball goes a little bit awkward off of a touch from Fade. Nova misses. Sylvie gets a rough touch into the corner of their net, and it bounces out, and Fade's just there every single time. And I was saying Cloud9's making a really good job of making the ball incredibly awkward for Dignipaws, and that one leads to a Fate's goal.
Yeah, that one, I mean, Sylvie doesn't get the touch he wants there, but all three of their players defaulted back to net. And that left them all really slow and awkward and just unable to clear that ball out. So you don't want to see that if you're a Dignipaws fan. That's not quite the rotation that you want to see on the defensive half of the ball. But see if they're able to work those out. They're definitely a team that's capable of doing it on the fly. And we'll just need to see how they're able to adapt and maybe find some answers to this Cloud9 offense. As that one was a close to being disastrous for Dignipaws, but they are able to get a good clear out, a great dunk by Nova. But those two upper ranks are low on boost and a bit awkward. We see Inferno trying to get a dunk, unable to get it fully in the net though, and Sylvie has the opportunity for a solo play and makes a great shot on net, great dunk, and that's exactly what you want to see from Sylvie in these games.
It goes for the breezy, maybe a little bit of one, and goes, but not quite gets the touch on the ball, but able to get a bomb. It's so difficult for the side of Cloud9 to not only read that, but have one back, but it doesn't even matter. There's a little bit of miscommunication, not the greatest kickoff. Nova's a little bit too far, and Sylvia way too wide, not able to get back to that in time. And just like that, we're already tied. So you see maybe some oddness on the kickoff. It looks like we're all still good to go. Oh, Faze is back. I think we're good to go.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of an awkward moment there, but yeah, in that last goal, Sylvie just a bit too far forward for his team there. Maybe expecting a play to go forward for them and wanting to be involved with the counterattack, but maybe just a little bit too quick to commit to that. But I mean, 3-3, anybody's game as we count down the seconds, and it looks like, unless Cloud9 is able to put this in the net right there, which Yuki gets a great save on, this game might go to overtime, and this could be anybody's game.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Overtime in a game 2, though, is always really nice. Teams are definitely well balanced. Let's see, though, if you're Dignipaws here, you'd love to get the win to equalize the series. You definitely don't want to be going down triple match point. First sweep is not something that you want to be on the kind of side that has to get that in order to win the series. So I'm sure they'd love to get the win. As Nova gets a really good touch. Entirety of Cloud9 planted. And Nova, what a fantastic slot, top left. And that wins the game for them.
I mean, you can't place that any better, just off of the top corner of the net to keep them out of triple match point. That's exactly what you want to see as a Dignipaws fan out of Nova, just coming in with the clutch play. Great play by Nova. That's exactly what you want to see. Such a confident play by him, and I mean, what else can you say? That's just really well played by Nova right there to keep his team out of a triple match point situation. And now we got a best of 3 for the second half of this series.
Yeah, and like you're saying, that's exactly what you need, and it's got to feel good. That's got to boost the confidence. Losing in overtime can be really rough, but winning in overtime to make it that you don't go down 2 in a series, especially coming from the C1 in the team, it's got to feel good. It's such a well-placed shot. They've done very well for themselves. All 3 players of Dignipaws are starting to play, I think, a little bit better. They've had some awkward moments in that game 2. They all around played, I think, very well. Cloud9 also looking very well. You can have a lot of statement or control over the pace, rather. We'll have to see, though, if they're able to take that into a game 3. But again, though, Dignipaws looking to bounce back from that game 1 loss and hoping to keep that momentum going forward for them.
Exactly. It's the series has been back and forth the entire series. The goal differential is also tied up at this point, and it's I mean, you can't ask for anything better. 1 goal wins for both games. It's exactly what you want to see as we join in right after the kickoff in Game 3 as we see Fades clearing it out. Fades trying to get it middle for his team, unable to get the touch though. Inferno kind of double committing with Fade on that one. Maybe that little first time playing together showing itself once again. Nova trying to get a 50, is unable to get it though, and that's going to leave the net open. Cloud9 is unable to convert on that, and that's going to be an opportunity that they'll want back.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a lot of opportunities for Cloud9 already. Kind of been the name or the pace that we saw set in the last 2 games, as Cloud9 has been on offense for what feels like a majority of the series so far. Dignipaws though has done a very good job of making sure that they get out of those dangerous situations. A bit of an awkward situation comes out. Again, as they have been doing, they've done a very good job of making sure that they don't stay in it for very long, and Nova continues to be consistently just a nuisance to this Cloud9 team. As a shot comes out, that one's off the post, but Fades will clean it up, and as I was saying, they've done a very good job of getting out of those awkward situations, but that one's just a little bit too awkward as Yugi needs to get a touch off the backboard. There's just no one else there to follow it, and Cloud9 goes up 1.
That's really good pressure from Cloud9, just forcing Dignipaws to be a bit awkward. They're not doing a bunch of these more flashy plays like what you would see out of Dignipaws, but they're just really good at holding pressure until the opposing team gets awkward and then converting on it really well, which is exactly what you want to see out of these more balanced teams in terms of player composition. Now we see Cloud9 trying to get possession. Inferno going to the skies as he tries to put one on. Takes it a bit high though, and that's a great clear by Dignipaws. We see Dignipaws trying to get a counter attack. Inferno trying to possess this off a back wall, getting bumped by Nova as we've seen a few times already. Nova getting some really crucial bumps for his team. Factual clearing it down to a pass for Fade, but Fade unable to get the touch that he wants to put that one on net. We see Sylvie trying to establish pressure, unable to do so as Fades goes for the double, unable to convert on it, and we're seeing some really good pressure out of Cloud9 for the past minute or so.
Yeah, they've been doing that all series. They're so good at keeping that pressure up forward. I say Inferno's done a very good job of not only hitting the ball forward when it pops out, hitting the ball in a place that is playable for his teammates. So we see another goal for Fade here. Cloud9 going up 2, but this goes off with that. Again, every time the ball pops off, there's always someone back, and usually it has been Inferno to kick that ball forward, but not just forward, but to a playable position, which is in threes crucial. So you don't want the ball just flying forward into their side where they can collect it. You definitely want the ball to be playable. That makes it so awkward for Dignipaws, and that has definitely been hurting them. They've been down 2 before, so we'll have to, or so they've been up 2. We'll have to see if they're able to swing this back. Maybe tie this game up, not go a match point against them.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Yuki trying to get a lot of controlled plays, which is exactly what you want to see out of Yuki. That shows he's playing within his comfort zone, which is exactly what you want to see out of a team. And I mean, Sylvie just seems to not quite be getting as much opportunities as he would like on those more mechanical plays. So I'll be looking to see maybe see if Sylvie is able to get a little bit more space to try these more mechanical plays. But we see Sylvie controlling it onto the opposing side of the field. Very well played by him. And it looks like he was trying to get a bump on back wall, unable to do it though. Nova collecting it in corner, is going to try to get a corner play, but the quick challenge from Fades stalls Nova. We see Nova playing it forward, just getting the clear, and he's going to try to get it middle for his team, but there's a good challenge by Factual, and Fades is going to clear that one out. Yuki going to try to get the control play out of his corner, gets some wall dashes to stay with that one, and that's going to give him enough room to be able to press that forward. Dignipaws trying to establish pressure. Sylvie going for the mechanical play. 1 reset, trying for 2. The challenge rings out though. Yuki trying to play that towards the middle, but Infernal is going to be there for the challenge. Dignipaws is going to want one quick. Sylvie trying to get it past Fade, unable to do so though. Nova clearing it to the side. Infernal trying to get it mid, gets it a bit too much sauce on that one. And this one is going to just get cleared onto the Cloud9 side. Dignipaws is going to need one quick.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there's enough time left in this game. Well, not impossible, but quite difficult, I think, to come back down to with 20 seconds left. And of course, they have been on defense for what feels like an eternity. And every single time the ball pops out mid, there is always someone there to send it back directly into Dignipaws' defensive third. And that has been the crux of this Dignipaws team. They are not able to get the ball out. Of course, as I say that, they might be able to. Again, just not enough time. That will go. Cloud9 takes game number 3. They go on to match point. We'll have to see if Dignipaws can bounce back, maybe have an answer for the amount of offense that Cloud9 was having in that game.
Definitely, and I think Cloud9 is just doing a really good job of forcing Dignipaws to play outside of their comfort zone, which is really good to see, because if they're able to keep doing that, that's difficult for any team to try to deal with. So, I mean, it's something that you love to see if you're a Cloud9 fan, but if you're Dignipaws, I want to see them maybe get Sylvie a couple more chances to get some of those mechanical plays in on that offensive front, because when they're able to clear out enough space for him to do that, it usually ends up being in their favor. So, I mean, that's what I think the game plan is going to be for Dignipaws going into this Game 4 to try to force that Game 5. So we'll need to see if it works out for them and if they're able to do that, but so far, Cloud9 seems to be operating in exactly the fashion that they want to.
Yeah, and I mean, Dignipaws, they definitely have the talent to do that, to kind of force some of those offensive opportunities. They just haven't quite been able to do that, at least not consistently, which I think has been biting them. But they definitely are a talented team. They can do it. And I think they, well, hopefully they will be able to do that going into game number 4. As Dignipaws will be attempting to force a game 5 here. As I'm sure they would love to see, and I would love to see, a game 5, as that is always entertaining. Always love to see the matches close. Already starting to see, though, opportunities from Dignipaws. That's a good sign for them. They realize that they need to start turning some of these midfield plays into offense. Try to keep the ball close. Try to prevent the Cloud9 team from being able to just hit the ball directly back into their own half. Doing a good job, though, of maintaining possession as a triple whiff comes through on the side of everybody. That might lead to a shot opportunity, but Sylvie just not enough boost and accidentally hits it backwards. Well, again, they're doing a good job of maintaining this pressure. We'll have to see if they're able to turn this into a goal. As a great reset comes through from Sylvie, and that's over everybody. And Dignipaws takes the first game. That's a great touch on the wall into an instant reset. Factual's there, but just not quite able to get up to that in time. And that's exactly what you want to see if you're rooting for Dignipaws.
I mean, that you can't give Sylvie that much room if you are Cloud9 right there, because Fade tried to get the quick challenge, but just wasn't close enough to really make Sylvie uncomfortable. And that kind of leaves Factual on an island against Sylvie when Sylvie has time and space, and that's tough for any player to deal with. And Factual just not able to get the read fast enough on where he needs to be on that one, which is tough for anybody. So good attempt, but not quite there. We see Inferno getting a shot on net, though, and just that sustained pressure makes Dignipaws' defense a bit awkward there. Yuki not quite getting the touch he wants, and that's just going to give the open net opportunity to Inferno, which is going to tie this game up with 3:30 left.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. It's such a heavy touch from Yuki. I'm sure they wanted to hit that to the wall or maybe out to mid. That's kind of been the heel. That's kind of been the Achilles heel, I'll say, for this Dignipaws team, is that every time they're able to get a touch either on defense or the midfield, it's a little bit too heavy. Cloud9 is immediately able to make a play on it or kick it back into offense, which has been hurting them. That hurt them last game. They definitely want to put a stop to that. They want to take this game 4. They did a good job of it early on. Right now things are looking a little bit awkward. So you see Sylvie in a 1v1 against Fade. Fade's able to flip it over. No one quite there able to take an immediate shot on net, which will allow Dignipaws to reset themselves. Fantastic touch from Yuki. We'll keep this still dangerous for Cloud9. Hoping though to see that if they're able to maybe get some more control, keep possession close. They have so much talent on this Dignipaws team. If they're given the opportunity to make these plays, they definitely will. We'll have to see though. It is still tied. It does start to feel like the next goal might determine who wins this game.
I mean, it seems like any time Dignipaws tries to take possession, there's a Cloud9 player there challenging, which is really good to see if you're a more balanced team like Cloud9 as they get an opportunity but are just unable to convert on it. Now we have Sylvie trying for the quick shot. Infernal's going to be back on it, and really good positioning by Infernal, making that save look easy. We see Factual sitting back, trying to get ready for this solo play by Sylvie, going up and getting the challenge, forcing the reset out, and Sylvie is able to finish that, but I think it was Yuki on the shot. What happened here?
I think this is a perfect steal. I was in either way, but Sylvie gets a touch off to the side, and I mean, it's a great setup from Sylvie. Yuki, 0 boost is able to get there in time, and oh my goodness. But again, I just like you were saying, Fire, that's what you need out of this Dignipaws team. They have to start turning some of this into offense. They've done a lot better in Game 4 than they did last game. So hopefully they're able to continue doing that. They've been having that sustained pressure. They've been making sure to keep multiple shots on net. You do not want to overcommit. Of course, as I say that, there might be a shot opportunity, but a miss comes through from Cloud9. That might put an end to this offensive pressure. No. Not able to get it out from Dignipaws. Might be the chance to make this not dangerous. No boost on the side of Cloud9 will give Sylvie an opportunity. Great bump though from Infernal to make sure Sylvie is not able to get a nice shot on net. Still dangerous though for Cloud9. Great clear from Fade. Great touch from Infernal. Sylvie has more than enough boost to deal with that. Not able to get the double. With this 1-goal lead, I'm sure that Dignipaws would love to cling on to. You have to feel with how much pressure Cloud9 is. Dignipaws almost needs that buffer goal.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud9 been playing very good this entire series, but Dignipaws definitely have an advantage in this game. We see Yuki trying to get a flick over Infernal. Infernal's going to be there for that, and a crucial demo by Fades. Very well played to try to clear Sylvie out of that offensive attack, and that's a tough save, but Sylvie is there for a great high-ranked play by Sylvie to be able to clear that out. 30 seconds remaining. Cloud9 needs one immediately. Fade trying to get it. Unable to. Cloud9 low on boost, which is going to give Dignipaws the opportunity to clear it, but they are unable to secure the clear. But Yuki getting a great 50. Sylvie going for the redirect, unable to get it though. And we see Nova getting a good challenge. Yuki is going to take this to the wall. 10 seconds left. They need one right now from Cloud9 if they want to stay in this match. They are unable to get the shot on net, and we see Sylvie trying to control to the side. Sylvie going to try to ground that, unable to do so, and Factual there for the last second goal. He is known to do it time and time again last season, and he comes in clutch for Cloud9 once again. He's so good at those, and once again we see Factual getting the 0-second goal.
Yeah, it felt like maybe complacency on the side of Dignipaws. I feel like they felt that the ball was going to hit the ground, as Yuki was the only one in net, but not even fully in net, just kind of waiting for the ball to go touch down. The shot comes forward, but no, 0 boost doesn't matter. It's a fantastic touch comes forward, as we're seeing a lot of these demo plays coming out from Cloud9 as it's seemingly disrupting this Dignipaws rotations. I think it's a good touch forward. We'll have to see if they're able to not let that 0-second goal that Cloud9 got affect them too much. That can be such a huge momentum swing. You feel like you have the win, and then suddenly you're in overtime. Might not bode well for Dignipaws as more shots come through. Cloud9 offense has been so consistent. Rotations have been fantastic for them. We'll have to see though if they're able to actually put that in, as an awkward touch comes forward, but Infernal's there to make sure that one does not get too dangerous. Unfortunately for Dignipaws, Nova not enough boost to make a play on that one. Well, Sylvie does have full boost, but it's a little bit harder than I think they wanted to. No, never mind, as that one almost goes in. But unfortunate rollout makes that one an easy save for Factual, as that's an unfortunate touch as well. Again, once again though, no one able to put that one through. We find ourselves level and level what feels like in the playing field, as this has been incredibly neutral. Both teams taking their turns swinging, and no one able to put one in.
I mean, they just had such good opportunities there for both teams, but neither team able to finish it. They both, I'm seeing where maybe that second man is being a little bit hesitant to try to take that shot and just throw themselves at the ball. And if you want to secure this game, you got to be aggressive there.
Oh.
As we see Yuki get a powerful shot on net, unable to put that away though, due to a great save on the Cloud9 defense. Sylvie has space. The Infernal is going to challenge that, which is going to keep it in corner. Yuki trying to put that middle. Nova a bit too far back to get the instant shot. Factual playing it forward. Factual trying to get that middle. Yuki's going to touch it middle. Fades. Tries to put it on. Unable to secure the goal. Great defense by Dignipaws. Dignipaws is going to want a clear here before this pressure starts mounting. As we see Sylvie play to the side. Fades playing it off a back wall. Yuki able to clear it to the side though. Yuki trying to keep possession, unable to do so though, as Nova is going to need to get the clear. Nova playing it off a back wall, but that's going to get cleared away, which is going to drop the ball to Sylvie. Sylvie going for the solo play, but that's going to be cleared out by Infernal, and there's tons of pressure for both sides kind of going back and forth, but we're not seeing anyone get any clear pressure on net or anything sustained, which is what you want to see if you are going to come away with this game.
Yeah, and it's been so close. So many of these opportunities have been incredibly tight. The defense, though, from both teams has been on point. We've seen a lot of offenses. Yuki almost gets a really good ground double, but again, it will be saved away. So we've been seeing a lot of offense, I think, from both teams, but right now the defense has been the story as we hit 3.5 minutes of overtime. At this point, we feel like a goal is almost inevitable. So I think Dignipaws is incredibly low on boost. This is such an awkward position to be in. So he's able to get the 100. It's still dangerous. Cloud9, though, the entirety of their offense, or entirety of their team, rather, was on Dignipaws' defensive third. Might have been a chance for a counterattack there. They just were not able to get to it in time. The opportunity may present itself there, but again, defense has been the entirety of this overtime story. Both teams are struggling to put the ball in net. So many good opportunities, but no one's able to convert. We see 4 minutes of overtime, and we are still level.
Oh, but there it is! The nail in the coffin as Factual. Who else would it be other than Factual getting the clutch goal, just getting there in the nick of time? That is absolutely an insane finish to this game, because oh my gosh, 4 minutes of overtime and Cloud9 just eventually getting the finishing touch. Great plays by both teams, but Cloud9 is going to get the better of that series as they take it in 4.
Yeah, you have to feel for Dignipaws. That game was essentially stolen from them by Factual. Got the 0-second goal and the overtime winner. And I mean, what better can you ask for the mental of that Cloud9 team? Factual's got to be feeling good about himself after that one. And if you're Dignipaws, it's unfortunate, but you played well. You definitely played a good game. But my goodness, what a series. Well played from both teams. That 4-minute overtime felt like anyone could have taken that at any point. Unfortunately for Dignipaws, not able to force the game 5, but they cannot be too upset with themselves, as they played very well to force that as far as it did into overtime.
That was insane game. I mean, we saw 6 saves from that Cloud9 roster. That's going to average 2 saves a game. And we saw 5 from Dignipaws, which is 11 total saves in a game. The average per player on that is going to be 1.83 or so, if my math is correct. So, I mean, what more can you ask for as we go into Black Screen Simulator, a little bit of NA production. But yeah, that's a fantastic series. Exactly what we want to see. And I mean, do you have anything else to say about that game, Docky?
Yeah, it was fun to watch. Both teams played very well. So both teams should be happy with themselves. It was a lot of fun watching. Hopefully, it was a lot of fun for them playing. So, GG's, everybody.
Definitely GG's. But enough of that game. I think it's about time to go on to the next game, which is going to be Black Bunny Gaming versus Fox Clan. Sure to be a thriller. And we'll start on that one right after this break, guys. We'll catch you then. on the
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to RFDL Week 6, Day 2. I'm Ecliptic Fades. I'm joined by Firestreak and Docky. Not sure what they were talking about here a second ago, but guys, my team took it. Dignipaws,
Yeah.
GG. You guys played amazing. But what can I say? Factual's the GOAT.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think Factual's always been very good. Dignipaws, they played well, but yeah, that the offensive pressure from Cloud9 was just almost unbearable, especially if you're on defense dealing with that. So hard to get the ball out of past the midfield with the ball going back on your half all the time. So yeah, Cloud9 standing on business.
Yeah, Cloud9, very strong team. They played really well, and they certainly earned that victory. Because, I mean, that's just a really good performance by them. Dignipaws also played really well there, but yeah, Cloud9 ends up taking the series, which is good for them. I'm sure they will be excited to be up in that 3-3 category now. They're officially even on the season, so congratulations to them.
Yeah, I think that it was a great match. I definitely think Dignipaws is a great roster. And that game 4 could have went either way. So I think that if we go to a game 5, who knows what could have happened. But Dignipaws is definitely looking scary, and I'm very excited to see what they have next week in their next match. But it's time to talk about our second match of the day. And that's going to be Black Bunny Gaming versus Fox Clan. And this match is going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah. And I agree. I think this is the one that I picked as the one I was looking forward to the most in the pre-show. But yeah, Fox Clan has been playing better and better, and they played very good last week. Unfortunately, they were not able to win, but again, they played so well. And BBG has been doing BBG things, so we'll have to see how that comes together. But it should be entertaining either way.
I mean, the Taka Javian combo, it's in full swing. They have great chem together, and it's really good to see them just synergizing and playing really well with each other. And then Cosmo being their support player, very good to see. He's playing really well as well. But then Black Bunny Gaming, they're a very disruptive team. They're doing Black Bunny Gaming things, as Docky said, and they're playing really solid in their own right. So they're a really solid team, but they got their work cut out for themselves this week. So we'll need to see if they're able to pull it off.
Yeah, and both of these teams, as of right now, if I check correctly, I think they have the same record going into this match. Yep, both of them are 3-2. Fox Clan is down by 2 games in game differential. So Black Bunny has been more consistent in winning their games. Fox Clan has had a tendency to take their matches to game 5. We're going to have to see if they can try to win this one a little bit faster if they want to start getting above on the leaderboard. But knowing Fox Clan, I'm sure it's going to be a great series overall. But Black Bunny Gaming bringing in their new member today, and let's talk about them a little bit going into the match. We didn't get to see them last week because Ivy was there, but this week we are going to see Bezix, Hammer, and Kiki rounding out the roster for Black Bunny Gaming. And Kiki, previously on Dignipaws, had a very good showing on the Dignipaws roster before being switched out for Yuki. Now with Kiki being on this team with Black Bunny Gaming, a much more demo-heavy team, how do you think that's going to work for Kiki and the roster in general?
Well, I mean, we saw Kiki play very well on that Dignipaws team before the roster changes happened, so it makes sense that they got picked up, I think, almost immediately afterwards. Yeah, really good player. Kind kind of exactly what you want out of that team in terms of creating shots, creating awkward opportunities for his teammates to clean up on. So we'll have to see if that translates. I've heard good things about in scrims about how well they've been playing together. So yeah, we'll have to see how that translates to league play.
I mean, yeah, we scrimmed against Black Bunny when they were trying out Kiki, and it's definitely not a roster to scoff at. They played very well, and I think Kiki fits into that team extremely well. Very much, very similarly to how we saw Gala fit in with Hammer last season with Black Bunny Gaming. So, I mean, you have somebody who's might not be the flashiest player, at least compared to Hammer, but is able to clean up anything that Hammer slightly misses. And then, I mean, now you have Vezix just being disruptive, as Vezix does. Vezix does Vezix things, so... I mean, they're definitely a tough roster to defend against, so we'll need to see how it works out with Kiki being in that roster.
Yeah, for sure. And Vavix is going to definitely be a key player on the field here. We've seen in a lot of Black Bunny Gaming's matches that if Vazix is not shooting on net, if he's not getting the demos in the back line, if his passes from Hammer are going a little high above the crossbar, they usually end up losing those series. So we're definitely going to have to see if he can show up as well, as Hammer has kind of made him the cornerstone of the entire roster. Might be a ingenious move, taking your lowest ranked member and making them the cornerstone, but it also could be what bites you at the end of a series. But obviously they're going to have a tough opponent to fight against today, and that is going to be Fox Clan. They haven't had any changes so far, so you know the roster. It's good old Taka, Javian, and Cosmo, and these guys have been looking pretty good so far. After that first week loss that they took, it's been pretty much uphill from there, despite losing their last match against BDS in 5. It was a great series, and I'm expecting to see a great performance from them as well today.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like I've said much as I can say about them. They have been playing fantastic, and they played very well last week. So many clippable moments. So if they can keep that up, I think they can beat just about anybody on any given day, as most teams can. But they've shown that they're definitely a team capable of doing that. So we'll have to see.
I mean, something that I find really interesting about this team is the roles are becoming more and more clear for this team, as we see Taka being slightly ahead of Javian in the assists and the saves category, while Javian is ahead on shots and goals. So I think that chemistry is only getting stronger as those two figure out what role is most effective for them going forward in the lead. And honestly, I do want to see a little bit more of Javian being able to cash in on those passing opportunities coming from Taka, and being able to take those passes Taka is giving them and put them away just a teeny bit more often. And I think if they're able to do that, they go from a really solid team to a truly terrifying team to go against. So they're going to need to do that if they're going to beat this Black Bunny roster, and we'll just need to wait and see if they're able to do that.
Yeah, I've expected some really good things coming out of Taka and Javian. And Cosmo has been stepping up ever since he joined this squad. He does really well on the back line and on the midfield in keeping the pressure on the attacking third in a lot of these offensive opportunities. And he's also gotten quite a few OT goals that have really swung the favor of a match in Fox Clan's in their favor. So what I want to kind of see from them is just making sure that they allow Cosmo to do that once again. Black Bunny Gaming is going to be a hard team to do that against, though, as we know that their defense is very stellar, and adding Kiki to the roster is just going to make that defense even harder to deal with. So we're going to have to see which team can step up the most in this week. Now, Fire, what were the predictions on this matchup before we get into it?
Yeah, it's about as split as it can be, almost, because we got you choosing Fox Clan in 5, and that is... you were the only one to choose Fox Clan in 5. We had both Rue the Fuzzy and Airlax choosing Black Bunny in 5, while I chose Fox Clan in 4 and Docky Fox Clan in 3. So, I mean, split desk, it's going to be a tight match, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that being said, guys, I think it is time to start our second match of the day. So, without further ado, let's get this one running. It's going to be Black Bunny Gaming and Fox Clan in this next one, seeing which team can triumph and join Cloud9 in the winners section today. And Docu Fire Streak gonna be at it again. Have fun.
I mean, claws tend to be a bit more sharp than clouds, so very different team names there. I don't know what Fades is doing, but we see Black Bunny getting some early pressure, but Cosmo's able to clear it out onto the Black Bunny half as they try to establish some early pressure. Hammer going up for a save, but double committing with Kiki. They might want to clean those up as they go forward. We see Black Bunny getting a good clear, but Taka is going to possess it in their own corner. Taka playing it forward, keeping possession before clearing it to the Black Bunny back wall, and we see a very unfortunate Awone goal coming out from Black Bunny. That's a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, there's still plenty of game to go.
I have to recover from that one. That was okay. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. I'm not laughing at the own goal. I'm laughing at what Fire said. Just to be clear, as a great shot from Kiki will show up to make sure that that own goal is completely forgotten about. So we are now back to where we started, completely level. 1 minute? Oh, not even 1 minute. But 37 seconds off the clock. Yeah, already 2 goals in. We're still level. So both teams showing that they can do a lot of good things on offense. To see if maybe this becomes more of a defensive game or if this is going to be high scoring. We're already seeing so many shot opportunities come through as a crazy pinch comes out from Hammer. So awkward for Fox Clan as Hammer again on the Batmobile. I don't know why I just noticed that. Oh, this is a little bit too much stacked on that back corner. The back post there on the defensive side for Fox Clan will lead to another goal. 4:02 left, though. Not even a minute in. We already have 3 goals scored. Black Bunny does find themselves on the leading side of that.
I mean, Doc, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but it's not just 1, but 2 Batmobiles coming out from the Black Bunny Gaming Squad. We saw it in RLCS this weekend, and it seems to be leading to a lot of goals, whether for or against them. So, I mean, it might be the new meta. Who knows? People seem to be using it a lot lately, but Hammer just not able to get a hard enough touch to keep that over to the side. Unfortunate for Black Bunny. They've allowed 2 just really unfortunate goals for Fox Clan. But now we see a favorable kickoff for Black Bunny. Vezik's just a little bit slow going to that one. But Taka, the pressure is solidified, and Hammer almost getting a nice angle on that one, but is unable to get it past that Fox Clan defense. We see Cosmo getting it to the side, and Hammer is going to keep the pressure on. Javian playing it to the side once again. They're doing a really good job of keeping it out of the danger area right in front of their net. We see Javian getting a little bit of an awkward touch, but Hammer is going to try for the double. It's just off though, and Vezix is going to follow it up, but that accuracy is just not quite there for him on that shot. He's going to be wanting that one back. We see Javian playing it forward, and we're already seeing some really threatening positions from Black Bunny within the past 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, and it's definitely been maybe some goal opportunities they should have had. Unfortunately, not able to get the reads, but either is Fox Clan seemingly. I'm not sure if that was a pass or a shot. Either way, it does not go in the net. Quite unfortunate for Fox Clan. Seems like accuracy is plaguing both teams so far. Of course, as I say that, it is 2-2, so we have had 4 goals go in. Not entirely possible, or not entirely accuracy, just a lot of shots coming through from both teams. Let's see, though, if maybe one of them is able to actually put one of these in the net. There's so many good opportunities, just not quite able to connect. Both teams having offensive onslaughts. A whole lot of defense, as we were saying before. There has been some crazy saves. Seems like it is just shot after shot from both teams, just kind of taking turns with their punches. To see though who's able to take the lead. Maybe a mystery from Javian. Hope doesn't get a touch on it. Not quite good enough. As Taka will be able to control that. See, maybe more offensive pressure from Fox Clan. Definitely feels like they might be able to score one. They continue this pressure.
Yeah, we're seeing great pressure from both teams as we see Black Bunny going for the counter attack, unable to convert on it as Javian gets a solid 50. Taka trying to keep that pressure on, is unable to do so as Cosmo gets a little bit of an awkward touch towards the middle of the field, but Javian's going to be right there to follow it up. Taka getting dunked as we see Javian need to follow that up. Kiki for Black Bunny, passing it down to Hammer. Hammer trying to put a shot on net, unable to get it on though. Hammer going to pass that back middle. Vezix is a bit out of position, unable to get to that though. Kiki goes for the dive, unable to get a touch on the ball though. Hammer trying to play it off of their back wall. Hammer gets it over one, trying to get a 50 with Javian, unable to get it past Javian. Vezix is going to try for the air dribble. Cosmo clears it to the side though. Cosmo getting a 50, but Hammer is going to get the better of that 50 as Taka is going to need to clear it out of their back half. Kiki going to play that to the side. Kiki going to the sidewall to try to clear it out, but they're going to get bumped out by Cosmo. Javian getting a 50 towards sidewall, and as there's 30 seconds left, no team has the better positioning in this. They both have a ton of pressure on each other, and it's going to be tough for either of these teams to get the lead as Javian strikes that one home.
Yeah, it felt like it was just coming. There was so much pressure from Fox Clan. It's so difficult to deal with. You're not sure who's going to go for it. You're out boosted. Really good placement there. Make sure that goes bottom left. No one's able to get to in time. We've seen a little bit of misplays from this BBG team. Not something that we've been used to all season. I'm not sure if it's just awkward or maybe some of the pressure of wanting to win this one and move up in the leaderboard is getting to them. Some of the plays here, they've had some shoot opportunities, they just have not had the read. And of course, as I say that, another awkward ball finds its way into the back of BBG's net, and Fox Clan goes up 2 with 9 seconds. You have to think that's game 1 for Fox Clan.
That's a tough position for Kiki to be in, but definitely another Black Bunny own goal right there. And that's not what you want to see if you are a Black Bunny gaming fan. That's 2 own goals, which ended up making the difference in this series. Both coming off of substantial pressure, but still, you want to see them maybe being a bit more organized on that defensive front and not quite as jumpy at everything and just holding to their rotations a bit better than what we're seeing out of them right now. They're a really good team. They are capable of doing it, but I'm going to be looking to see them maybe be a bit more organized in that defensive front more than they have been up to this point.
Yeah, definitely you see some maybe more accurate shooting. And there were a few open net opportunities there for BBG. Fortunately, not able to put them away. Maybe a little bit too fancy to getting ahead of themselves. Saw doing more than they should have been doing. And what could have been more simple shots. See if they're able to get better of them. So all the shots they did have were very good. When they get that offensive pressure moving, they're so good at making it awkward for the defense. And if they're able to continue doing that, they should have a good chance of taking game 2. We'll see though if they're able to make that change and start getting some more goals, maybe some more offensive pressure, cut down the amount of shots that Foxconn is having on their net.
Definitely, and they are capable of it. They are known to be able to really make their opponents awkward and get some good goals off of that. But we've only seen that once, or I believe the one time was the only time I really saw that this series in that first game. So I'm going to be looking for them to maybe be a bit more disruptive on that Fox Clan backline to give themselves maybe a little bit of easier shots. To that give them a little bit of extra time to put the ball on net as we head in to game 2. We are already seeing the ball be on the Black Bunny half once again, which they are not going to be too happy about. But we see Vezix getting a pass upwards for Kiki, who has switched back to the Fennec from the Batmobile. So maybe they were trolling a little bit with their car choices in the first game. I believe Hammer is going to stick with it, though, so we'll see how that works out for him. Vezix trying to pass it over to the side. Hammer doesn't have the boost to be able to follow that up, so he's not going to be able to take advantage of the pass, as we see Hammer strike one from downtown and put that one home.
Yeah, such an unfortunate heavy touch from Taka. Javian's pushed up, I think, trying to play it off the wall, and Hammer's just so quick up to that. There's just no chance. And of course, Cosmo, I think, not expecting that play coming out of Taka and Javian. Unfortunately for them, does lead to a BPG goal. It's not seeming to get to them, as we're already seeing them go for those plays again. This is awkward for Cosmos. Cosmos left alone. It's such a tough position to be in. So you see maybe Taco leaving the match? Not sure what's going on here. Okay, seems like they've joined back. Maybe a issue with internet connectivity. We do have all 6 players, so no need for any sort of tech pauses or anything like that. 2-goal lead for BBG. Did not have this kind of momentum last game. So this might mean a new light for them, as they might get a third, and they do. 3-0 BBG.
Yeah, the interesting turn of events there. We see Taka leave the match momentarily. Maybe he's having some internet issues on this server. We'll need to wait and see, but it is nonetheless still a bit late for them to be able to reset the server for this game. So we're getting worried. It was just a quick DC. They should be fine, and we should be good to go. But now we see Black Bunny getting a lot of early pressure. Javian sporting the Furia decal, which is largely the same color as Black Bunny, so maybe trying to create some confusion on that Black Bunny side, but it doesn't seem to be too effective so far, as we see Black Bunny get even more pressure on the Fox Clan side. Vezix going for a redirect, unable to get it though. Kiki is going to need to play this off the back wall with no boost, but Vezix is going to swoop in and cover. Great play from the Champ 1. As we see some more pressure ring out. Unfortunately, Fox Clan, for them, Fox Clan is unable to get the play on that one. We see Kiki trying to get the follow-up shot, unable to get the pass from Hammer. Vezix, a bit low on boost. That should be an open net for Javian, but Javian is unable to put it away. Hammer is back for the save. Cosmo trying to follow that up, unable to get the shot on net, and it looks like the Black Bunny Gaming defense is looking a lot stronger than last game, and they're cleaning up those rotations really nicely.
Yeah, and so many good passing plays coming from this Fox Clan team. They're just not quite quick enough, and you got Hammer as that third man, as he has been the past few minutes or so. It's so difficult. He's reading those plays so well, and you want those passing plays to connect, but you don't want to be too ambitious with it, because I might end up with a counterattack, as we see one come out here. Again, Cosmo left alone as third. Was able to stall enough time to allow the teammates to get back into position, but again, just the offense. Hammer is basically just stealing boost and immediately turning onto the ball, which is allowing Fox Clan absolutely no time to collect themselves. As it feels like Hammer's been on the ball for an eternity now. He finally gets the ball off of him. You see, if Fox Clan wants to score and get back in this game, they definitely will need to turn this into a counterattack as soon as possible, but that's not going to happen. As Kiki takes a fantastic shot, slots that all the way to the right. No boost besides Cosmo on the side of Fox Clan. 4-0 lead for BBG, not looking too good for Fox Clan. Looks like BBG might equalize the series.
I mean, 2 minutes left. Fox Clan would need 4 goals in 2 minutes. That's a goal every 30 seconds. Not impossible, but it's definitely a tall order for any team, especially against this Black Bunny roster. But we see Taka trying to take it off his back wall, getting a good air dribble, but Kiki is going to shut that down as soon as he can. Cosmo going for a bump, but Vezix kind of just sits under him, and that's going to leave Cosmo a bit slow to get back. We see Javian needing to try to get an awkward save, and Kiki is going to put that home to put Black Bunny up by 5, and Fox Clan is going to need to try to sit back and think about what they can do differently in Game 3 to turn this series back in their favor.
Yeah, the bounce shot's such a good play. It's so difficult when it's that high. Your ball cam on, trying to read that one, and then immediately it's in front of your net. You try to jump up to it, Tom, and you just can't. Not the best position to be in if you're FoxClan. Is maybe a mistouch comes out from Hammer, I think. And we have our third own goal of the series. I don't think this one will matter too much though. Probably one of the best own goals I've seen in a while. That's a crazy touch. Goes top right. A minute 15 left. They still have a 4-goal lead. I don't think that own goal is going to matter too much. Maybe it might give FoxClan a little bit of momentum going into game 3. They do get one on the board. They didn't do it themselves. We'll have to see though if they're able to maybe turn things around. They have not had quite the offense they had in game 1. He's done a really good job of shutting that down, but it looks like it did lead to some momentum. As immediately after the own goal, FoxClan turns around and puts another one on the board.
I mean, 3 goals, 20 seconds apiece, it's not impossible. FoxClan seems to be trying to get their way back into this match, but they have a long way to go. We see Cosmo getting a unfavorable 50 with Vezix on the kickoff, and I mean, you got Hammer on your team. He can just, anytime the momentum seems to shift in FoxClan's favor, he can just pull something out like that and secure the game for them. I mean, it's at this point, it's very, very tough for FoxClan to be able to get their way back into this game because of that beautiful double tap by Hammer. And they're just going to maybe try to kind of sit back, kind of see what's going on that's causing them to fall behind in this game and adapt from there. I want to see them maybe make some... find ways to keep themselves from getting too awkward on that defensive front, and maybe doing these quick counter plays is the way to go for them, because they're able to get a good counter, which is going to leave an open net for Javian.
I'm not sure what happened to the rotations there. They might have thrown the towel in, not really trying too hard now that they're up as much as they are. And no one back for that one. It does lead to an open net. As you were saying, it's so hard to get back into a game when you've got Hammer playing as well as Hammer is playing right now, as a massive clear almost leads to a fantastic passing play from the side of BBG. Yeah, no. FoxClan definitely not looking terrible. They've played very well, I think, in parts of this game. Not as well as I'm sure they would like to. They managed to make this only a 3-goal lead. So if this does go to a game 5, that might make their job of picking the server, or I guess that, I'm not even sure that matters, but goal differential, I don't think that might matter in this series. I don't think we're doing every other. At the very least, though, might be good for their mental.
Exactly. Whenever you get those tough games where you're, maybe things aren't going your way, just getting a couple goals at the end can really help a team keep their mental up as they go forward in the series. But I mean, that's a great performance by Black Bunny. They really made FoxClan awkward on their backline, and this is definitely back to being a neutral series after FoxClan seemed to be in control on that first game. So we'll need to see if Black Bunny is able to keep up this momentum, or if FoxClan is going to be able to reverse things in game 3 and get things back in their favor.
Yeah, we will have to see. And like I was saying, like we were saying, yeah, I mean, they only played well, and they did a good job of trying to bring it back. It felt like it might have been possible, but as Fade likes to call it, the Hammer Show, as this BBG team seems to be, it's just so difficult to deal with, especially when he's making the shots that he's making. They did a good job of shutting that down game 1, though, so they have to just, I think, rely on that, do exactly what they did there. They'll have a good chance, I think, of pulling this, maybe putting BBG on match point. But either way, we go into game 3. Winner of this game does go to match point. We'll have to see who is able to take that one.
Yeah, we see FoxClan put it into Black Bunny's half, but that's just going to give Hammer space and time to be able to go full field. And I mean, Hammer, that's gross. These people have families, Hammer. Gosh dang, that's disgusting. But a great play by Hammer nonetheless, and that's going to put Black Bunny up 1 immediately in this match.
The Hammer Show is still around in game 3. We do not want to give him that space. Maybe he meant to. It's so difficult to understand exactly how far he can carry that ball forward. It might make you respect him a little bit too much. As a good job of shutting that one down, but a little bit of panic. Is able to grab the boost that he wants. Javen will take a shot. He does get a nice demo though. Again, we've already started to see some confidence on the side of BBG as they've done a fantastic job of just pushing the ball forward, making Foxcan look incredibly awkward. They've not really had the opportunity to take possession. They just kind of get the ball out of their half, not even starting on trying to get some counterattacks going. Not really had the space or the time to. No, it's definitely early on. They've got a lot of time, I think, to adjust to this. They'll just have to start doing that now as an awkward ball goes forward. Fortunately, that touch will lead to a boost steal, and this is still going to be awkward for FoxClan. Kiki will put that one in, giving them a 2-goal lead. This is not what you want to see for FoxClan, but this is really good pressure from BBG.
Yeah, it is very nice pressure from BBG, and you see FoxClan just kind of getting caught out, all of them low on boost, and other than Taka, who is still rotating back. So anytime you have your first and second man low on boost, that's going to be tough for that third man to be able to adapt and be able to make that save. But Black Bunny makes a nice save there. Cosmo tries to put one on, but unable to finish it. We see Javian taking possession, taking it to the air, can't get it over Vezix though. Vezix makes a great play on that. We see Black Bunny clearing it to the corner. Taka trying to get it middle. Javian not going up for that. Maybe opting for a bit of a slower play there to try to get control. Vezix is going to have control of this in the corner, but Cosmo's too fast to get to that. Great play by Cosmo. Kiki getting a shot on net, unable to convert on it though, and that's when the Kiki is going to want back. That should have put Black Bunny up by 3. But unfortunately for Black Bunny, they're going to be stuck with only a 2-goal lead, which this FoxClan team, as we saw last series, can flip very quickly. Taka trying to play it forward to Javian, a bit heavy on the touch though, as Javian tries to put it back middle, unable to get it there though. We see Hammer clearing it to the side, Cosmo passing it to Taka, Taka unable to get the control touch he wants as Taka 50s Hammer, which should give Javian some space, but a great bump by Hammer to keep FoxClan from getting effective pressure on their own net.
Yeah, and again, unfortunately for them, they're not quite able to get that goal that they desperately need. If they get a goal here, they will be able to cut this lead in half, but they just have not been able to do so, as BBG has been able to rather convincingly control the pace of Game 3 here. A lot of momentum coming out of that game too, with how many goals were scored, as another one goes in off of a great pass from Hammer. Kiki gets a great touch, so quick up to that. Cosmo trying to put it into a Hammer solo play, but unfortunately that bounces. It's a great pass that might have been a bit of a mistouch from FoxClan. Maybe some of the pressure of having to just put it into the offensive onslaught, just going for the ball any way possible. Of course, that one unfortunately does not go in their favor. Less than 2 minutes left. 3-goal deficit, not entirely impossible, but the fourth one going in from Vezix that might put an end to their chances here in Game 3. The series is definitely not going to be over if they lose this one. They will be on double match point.
Yeah, that's a really good goal from Vezix. Just a nice shot to put it away from Cosmo, which Cosmo didn't quite have the momentum you would want to see for somebody who's wanting to defend against a hard shot like that. But, I mean, great awareness by Vezix to put it away from the defender and slot that one home. Javian trying to play it forward, but Taka's just in the way of that one. And now we see that turn into a counterattack where Kiki's going to put that one past a no-boost Taka, which is very unfortunate. FoxClan kind of just seems to be tripping over themselves quite a bit this game, which is a bit unfortunate. They're going to need to figure that out if they want to put this into a Game 5 in this next match coming up. But now we see Javian trying to get a 50 over to Taka. Taka unable to finish it. And that's really unfortunate for FoxClan. That's going to leave the counterattack open, but Taka's back in time. Kiki stuck in a 1v2 here, but Taka can't get the 50, which is going to allow for the clear. Javian gets it past Vezix, but not past Hammer. Hammer is back again. We see Taka trying to pass it mid. Cosmo backflips, so that's going to leave Hammer to get the controlled clear. Javian tries to get a touch on it, unable to do so, and that's going to allow Vezix to get the quick follow-up and get another point on the board for Black Bunny Gaming.
Yeah, and you can feel the frustration from Fox Clan. We see another double commit come out, and I mean, it's understandable, right? You're down 5. You need to get the ball out of your own half. You need to get some offense going. You have not put one in this entire game. That has to be on the brain of this Fox Clan team. And I mean, it's unfortunate when you get down this much. The gameplay, the way that you play, starts to change. But I mean, if you're Fox Clan, I think at this point you're just looking to game 4. You need to win that one. Must win for the game. At this point, this game's already over. So just start trying to maybe try some things. Use this as a mini timeout. Regain your thoughts and look to game 4 as another big win for BBG. Hopefully they don't let in a 7th goal. This is a good look though from this BBG team. They're already starting to seem like they have offense just non-stop, and their offense has been very good. So we'll have to see as we go into game 4, but they do one for the road, so maybe that'll help with the momentum from this Fox Clan team, as they will need every bit of momentum they have going into game 4 to force us to a game 5.
I mean, I thought that last game they might have built a little bit of momentum, but they weren't able to hold it going into this game, to say the least. We'll need to see if they're able to get a little bit of momentum as Kiki secures the Brazil with 0 seconds left. Unfortunate kickoff for Fox Clan, and yeah, that's Brazil, which is a bit unfortunate for Fox Clan, but Black Bunny is going to be really happy with that one.
Yeah, unfortunate is definitely the word I would use as well. But again, not over. So if you're Fox Clan, just look for that game 4 and just get that out of your memory. You know, be a goldfish, as some might say, and just let, you know, the good stuff that happened is the only thing you should be thinking about. Maybe make the adjustments you need. Force us to a game 5 for entertainment purposes, if anything. But, you know, BBG, they're looking very good. That's 2 straight games where they've scored a large amount of goals. Definitely seemingly an offensive heavy team. But another thing to worth noting is they did not allow really any goals in to their own net. A lot of shooting opportunities from Fox Clan, but only able to put in the 1, and it was within the last 30 seconds or so. So good offense and good defense. Definitely difficult to deal with for Fox Clan.
Yeah, anytime a team is just clicking as well as Black Bunny is right now, it's definitely not an easy task to be able to try to counteract all the momentum they have and the confidence that Black Bunny seems to have right now. They're just playing at the top of their game, and they seem to almost be unstoppable right now. They're doing whatever they want when they want, and that's they're not the team that you want to allow to do that and be able to carry all that momentum. But game 4, it's a new game, and that's got to be Fox Clan's mentality if they want to bring their way back into this series. We see Taka getting not the 50 he wants against Vezix, which is going to allow Black Bunny to progress this forward as they get another opportunity, which they're able to defend against. Javian not getting the shot he wants, and Cosmo's going to need to play that high to avoid the quick counter. Hammer's going to try to put that on. It's off target, though. Vezix challenging, unable to get the ball on net, though. Kiki is going to follow this up. He's going to try to get a 50 as most of the lobby commits on that ball. And we're seeing a little bit of a scramble towards the beginning of this game. No clear rotations being brought out.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. This is just awkward from PBG. They've been tripping over each other a little bit. But not a bad look from Fox Clan. Oh my, wait. A great touch from Cosmo on a Hammer of all people. Really good delayed flick over to the left. That is, I mean, that is crazy. well played from Cosmo. So it puts Fox Clan up 1 with a minute off the clock. That has to feel good. They were not able to put many goals in last game. They've already put in a second one. The first goal was great. This goal is even better. What a catch, a scoop from Taka. No boost, and Vezik's just not in position for that one. And 355, Fox Clan up 2.
I mean, it seemed like Black Bunny had all the momentum, but a couple of missed shots, and all of a sudden, Foxland was like, all right, it's time for us to get some momentum of our own. So, I mean, they're just playing so well. Those are 2 really good shots. Cosmo with the ice to just be able to make the play he wants to make, even though he has an SSL defender to try to beat, and he just does so well with it. So, well played by Cosmo, and then what a shot by Taka to follow that up. But now we see Vezix playing it to the corner, but Taka is going to be there to deny the pass middle. Taka trying to clear it out, unable to do so. We have Hammer trying to play off the ceiling. He's not going to get a 50 though, as Taka clears it out. We see Cosmo playing it forward to Taka. Taka trying to get it middle. No one's home for the pass though. We see Cosmo playing near side on Hammer, and is able to get the 50 with Hammer. Cosmo playing very well for his team right now, and is coming up clutch exactly when FoxClan needs it. Hammer playing out of his own corner, trying to get it over the defense, and he's able to beat 2 with that. But Javian is back on the defense to shut that down. We see Vezix trying to make a play, is just going to play it into the corner, and that's going to allow Taka to clear it over to Cosmo. Cosmo looks like he's trying to set up for a double, but is unable to get the angle on it. Hammer has control, but Javian is going to quick challenge that and just punch it back into the Black Bunny half. And I mean, FoxClan seems to be in control of this game. They seem to be playing their game, and maybe has rattled Black Bunny a little bit as we head into the second half of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened here. Like it's saying, he's looking a little bit rattled. More awkward than I think last game off the start. I'm not entirely certain what changed. As you see Hammer kind of maybe bait a boost grab from Javian. It's not going to work in their favor though, as Kiki is left alone on an island. Unfortunately for them, no one boosts on the side of FoxClan to take advantage of it. You see maybe a little bit of opportunity. Not quite the boost there for that. Well, for FoxClan, you're very happy to see the ball just bounce around. Every second it's off the clock gives you an advantage here. You're up 2, you have a cushion. Even if one goes in, you still have that goal advantage. So you're more than happy to see the ball kind of bounce around in the midfield. You don't necessarily need a goal. You don't want to let one in either. This midfield play is only going in the advantage of FoxClan. So FoxClan, definitely happy to see it bounce around. I might start to see some desperation though come out from BBG, as I'm sure they would love to put one in as soon as possible. If you're FoxClan, you might be able to take advantage of that desperation and start turning it into other goals, or at the very least just waste more time on the clock. Of course, that misflip's not going to help. Fortunately though for FoxClan, no one on BBG able there or to be there for the shot. Unfortunately though, Isaac's just way too close for that one, and that might put it into this one, and that might put it into this game. The bump comes through, and Cosmo with a fantastic shot. Cosmo absolutely popping off this game. And that puts them up through with 45 seconds left. That might be all they need to push this to a game 5.
I mean, Cosmo just playing this game so well. He's just really in control of this game, it looks like, which is very impressive for a Champ 1 to be able to show up and put in multiple crucial goals for his team. But we'll need to see if they're able to hold this lead, because I'm sure they would love to keep this cushion, as we see Javian get a crucial save on that back line. Cosmo fakes the challenge, which is going to give Black Bunny possession, but that's going to allow FoxClan to just clear this out at their own will. Javian, maybe not the touch he was looking for, but it's not going to bite him, and we're just not seeing Black Bunny play as confidently, where they're just taking advantage of any miss FoxClan makes like they were earlier in the series. And I don't know, they just look a little bit rattled. They're not looking so confident right now, and they're going to need to get that back if they want to take this game 5. But for now, that game was the FoxClan show.
Yeah, and they're going to need to continue doing that if they want to have a chance in Game 5. Like you were saying, though, the confidence, though, not quite there for BBG, but definitely there for Fox Clan. So we saw Cosmo absolutely unfazed by that match point. Played it so incredibly well. As we see here in the replay, is able to beat Hammer in a 1v1, which is something I never thought I would see. It's beautiful. And then, of course, Taka. So we'll have to see if they're able to continue this momentum. They played incredibly well. Completely unfazed by that massive Brazil that they just took in the last game. So hopefully, if you're a Fox Clan fan, that momentum will continue to go on their way. But PBG looking to bounce back. They played well games 2 and 3. I'm sure they can bounce back well into Game 5.
I mean, I know for Fox Clan, Javian Taka gets a lot of the attention. But if Fox Clan is able to secure a victory in this series, you can't sing the praises of Cosmo enough, getting that early beat on Hammer to bring the team to an early lead, and then also getting a very welcomed third goal for that team. And I mean, as a lower ranked player, when you're able to shift the momentum of a series like that, that is huge. That's you can't overstate that. But as far as these teams are concerned, it's now best of one as we head into Game 5. We're seeing a little bit of awkwardness early on from Fox Clan. Hammer unable to put that home, though, as we see Taka clearing it out, unable to keep possession, which is going to allow Black Bunny to just clear it right back into the Fox Clan half. Vezix going for demos as he's known to do, but he wasn't able to connect on it there, which is something I'm sure he's going to be kicking himself for, because that could have given them a bit easier possession on that offensive opportunity. Cosmo getting a good 50 with Hammer as they try to follow it up, unable to do so though. Kiki is going to get a dunk on Javian, but not to the best of spots. Vezix a bit close once again. That's going to leave him awkward as through the first minute of this, we're seeing lots of pressure from Black Bunny, but they're not capitalizing on these opportunities. As we see them try one more time, Cosmo's going to clear that over though. And once again, lots of pressure from Black Bunny, not capitalizing on the opportunities though.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of pressure. I think this is a trend though that we see in these Game 5s where you realize that you want to go home, and a lot of times that can change the way the teams play. So play a little bit more conservative, not trying to overcommit. Definitely don't want to be down one in Game 5, like you're saying, best of one. And I think that sometimes weighs heavily on the minds of teams as a ridiculous team bench. It was a little bit too high, a little bit off. And it's very nice to see nonetheless. Yeah, as you were saying though, definitely a lot of good opportunities, just not quite connecting. So again, I think those Game 5 mentality just tends to make players a little bit more nervous to full commit. Some of these touches is a bit of an awkward touch comes by from Javian. Cosmo gets a really good touch, and that leads to a Taka goal, and Cosmo yet again absolutely showing up where they're needed. So that's a really good 50 that goes all the way through, and Taka's so quick to that, and Hammer's just not able to turn into that in time. And 3 minutes left on the clock. Fox Clan finds themselves up one.
I mean, that's a really good 50 by Cosmo and a great follow-up by Taka. It's exactly what you want to see if you are a Fox Clan fan. As we see another one bounce out, and Kiki is going to put that one home to keep Black Bunny in this conversation, as we see a double commit from Fox Clan, just allowing for an open net, which is going to put Black Bunny all tied up once again. Now we're seeing kickoff, ring out, and that's going to be a decent demo that should give Fox Clan a little bit of space to try to reverse possession here. As Taka tries to take advantage of it, Hammer is going to cut that nicely though. Kiki trying to establish possession, going to try to dump it middle to Hammer, and that's going to be another one. Great pass from Kiki to Hammer to put Black Bunny up by one.
Yeah, such a good pass, and Javian gets bumped as well. Taka's backwards. And I mean, not really much you can do there. Just like that, Fox Clan had themselves the lead not too long ago, and all of a sudden the tables have been reversed, and now they find themselves on the other side of that lead. Now down one, and might be down two, but I mean, we'll save that one. Pinch goes all the way across. Kiki does not have a lot of boosts. This is so awkward, and Taka's there first. Ties the game up. It's an unfortunate pinch. Taka plays that so quickly, and Kiki just no boost. Has to go up for it. Just not able to get there in time. Vezix out of the play. 2-2. 2:24 left in the game. Game 5, we are tied again. Already seeming to be that we might have ourselves a very close Game 5, which is exactly what you want to see from a pure entertainment value perspective. We'll have to see, though, who has the advantage as we are square at equal yet again.
I mean, we're seeing it. It's just so back and forth. Both teams scoring seemingly at will, as there's already been 4 goals in 3 minutes total in this game, all tied up. We see a pass ring out middle, and you don't want to let Black Bunny have too many of those, because more times than not, they're going to finish those. But once again, just they don't quite finish these ones that we're used to seeing them put away. As we see Fox Clan get a good clear onto the Black Bunny half. Taka trying to put that on, unable to do so. Cosmo trying to keep it in that Black Bunny half, doesn't have the boost to take possession. As we see Kiki get it past Javian. Taka, as last man, gets a good dunk. Vezix is going to play it to the side. Vezix off of sidewall, no boost, so that's going to be a bit awkward for him as Taka gets the dunk. Hammer off of sidewall, trying to get a 50 with Javian. Kiki is going to come in, and Cosmo puts it in his own net for another own goal. This is the series of own goals. We've seen it from various people. I think that was in anyways, but yeah, just an unfortunate touch there to allow Black Bunny to go up by 1.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. Like you said, I do think that was in either way. It might have come from a little bit of an overcommit. There looked like there might have been a goal opportunity for Fox Clan, and I think they full cashed in on that. Obviously, it did not go that direction, and Cosmo having to rush back to that one, just not quite there in time, and Kiki is absolutely trying to run away with this one. Taka a little bit slow to this one, not a very good touch, unfortunately. Kiki absolutely reads that. 57 seconds left. They're up 2. It's pretty comfortable for VVG, but not entirely impossible for Foxland. We'll have to see, though, if they can score quickly. They've shown that they can score quickly. They will have to do that, or they will be losing this series.
Yeah, I mean, 45 seconds left. They need 2 goals. They're going to need to put them in quick, as we see Black Bunny once again clearing it over to the Fox Clan half, as we see Javian going for a shot. Cosmo going for the bump, but is unable to get it, which is going to allow Black Bunny to have a bit of a boost control here, as Fox Clan found themselves really low on the offensive possession in regards to boost. But Cosmo is going to take a soft touch here, is going to try to get another one, gets it over Hammer. Javian, they need one right now. You want it in Javian's hands in that situation, but 10 seconds left. They need one right now. Foxland needs one right now if they're going to be able to stay in this game, and that's going to just about do it as the clock runs down to 0. Foxland down by 2. They can't come back in this one, and they are unable to regain control of this series as Black Bunny takes it in 5. Well played to Black Bunny, well played to Fox Clan, and that was one heck of a series.
Yeah, very well played from both teams. He felt like it could have gone either way there in Game 5. Some of those games definitely were a little bit more one-sided, but going into that Game 5, it felt very equal, very even. So Foxland definitely had a lot of opportunities, I think, to take that one, but unfortunately it just got a little bit out of hand. And Black Bunny does take that one, so well played, like you said, from both teams. I think both teams can walk away from that, be happy with themselves, and yeah, GG's everybody.
A very much GG's. That was a fantastic series. Everything we really wanted it to be. A very tight series all the way to the end. But now I think it's just about time to head on to our final game of the weekend, which, if I remember right, is going to be X3 Tactics against Protogen Rebellion, the 1 seed at the end of last week against the 12 seed. It's going to be a great series. Stick with us, and we'll see you after the break.
destined to be hard to find. 'Cause we've already lost our mind. You and me, we're gonna write a little history. You and me, just show me love and then you'll see. Memories that we make, they are never gonna fade for a lifetime. We don't give no day if you wanna hide away. We just hide your kind of play. Second drills up in the memory bank.
Oh, I forgot to change that back. But hello, everybody. Welcome on back to RFDL. Ecliptic Fades here, and I will be here in just a second as we're gonna go there. We're here. I'm back. It's week 6, day 2. I'm with Firestreak and Docky, and I gotta ask, specifically Docky, how have you felt about that last match?
I mean, it was a good match. It was entertaining. I was hoping it would go to a game 5. It did. So that's all I care about. I'm here for the game 5s. I'm here for getting every match possible. Makes it way more entertaining for me to watch. And I'm sure that's more fun for people to play in. You know, no one likes to get swept. And losing, I don't know, losing in game 5 feels a little bit less sad. I guess it feels more, as if from a player perspective, I'd rather lose that because you gave your best and it's as close as possible. So, yeah, it was fun. So hopefully it's fun for them to play as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
going
sure.
in
Oh, sorry, Fire. Go ahead.
Going into a game 5 is definitely good on the mental for both teams, because if you're on the winning team, it's like, oh, we fought through, it was a tough match, but we ended up getting the best of them at the end of the day. And if you're on the losing team, it's like, hey, we still took them to a game 5, that could have gone either way. So always good to see when teams are able to bring it to that game 5. That way it's not just like a one-sided affair. So well played to both teams, and very much GG's.
Yeah, I had to agree. I think both teams looked really good. It was just those small mistakes at the end of that game 5 just causing that loss for Fox Clan, and those are easily able to be fixed. So next week in their next match, they'll probably look a lot better. Although, maybe coming from my perspective, maybe I don't necessarily want that to happen. So just let it drag you guys down a little bit, you know? No, of course not. You guys took your time. You guys figure out what went wrong. I'm sure you guys will look good going on in the future. But for now, it's time for our last match of the day, and we're going to start talking about it. And it's going to be a big one. Protogen Rebellion versus X3 Tactics. And as we've mentioned before, even though they are bottom of the standings at the start of the week for Protogen Rebellion, this team can easily go up against X3 Tactics. And I'm expecting to see a really good match here.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I can say more than what I said. I think in the pre-show area where, yeah, you can have that bottom of the leaderboard go up against the top of the leaderboard. A team that's undefeated, the team that's only managed to win one game, and it's still anyone's match, which is, you know, exciting for me to think about. Where, you know, both teams are so talented and both teams can win, you know, against anybody. So this will be the ultimate test of that, I think, in my opinion, as I do think Protogen has a very good chance of winning the series.
Yeah, you definitely can't Count Protogen out. They've kept a lot of series really close, and they always seem to just be right there in the thick of it with most of the teams that they've faced so far this season. So even though they're a bit lower on the standings, they have really brought a lot of series to game fives. They've shown some really good things, and if X3 is sleeping on them at all, or if they have any trip ups in their rotation, they could be in for a surprise. But they're definitely the favorites overall, but at the same time, this is not a game to chalk up before it even starts.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that both of these teams are going to be doing really well in this game. I think that both of them have great potential. I think it depends on who shows up for each squad. And let's go ahead and talk about these teams getting into this real quick, as Protogen Rebellion will be our first ones to talk about. And you guys know who all of these guys are. It's Static, it's Heavenly, it's Turtles. They've been playing pretty well so far in the league. And I think that it's, they haven't had the results that they quite want, but they have been very close. And I think that that really shows that they have a lot of potential going into this later stage of the league.
Yeah, I mean, I very much agree with that. They definitely show. I mean, they showed, I think, last week that they can play very well. They definitely, when we played them, I mean, they were by no means an easy battle. I mean, we were able to win, but it was not easy. So they're very good, and they can play very good, and especially when I think Static gets more, I think, on that kind of like in that flow state that I can, that he gets in sometimes, where he starts to play a little bit more aggressive, and more comfortable. And of course, you got Heavenly and Turtles, who are two fantastic players, and Turtles last week was absolutely popping off. So if they can continue that and just keep playing better, keep playing comfortable with each other, making sure that they're all feeling good and having a good time, I think they'll have a really good shot.
I do agree with you, Docky. This is a very solid roster. I think they have a very high ceiling, and I want to see them this week maybe tap into that high ceiling a little bit. Maybe have a really good series against X3, because they have the potential to do it. But yeah, I mean, Turtles, we saw he was out in the countryside last week. He doesn't want to get any more remote than that, so he's got to really put on a good show today and help carry his team to a win, unless he wants to end up somewhere even more remote. And I mean, I don't know where Rystal will send him if if they do end up losing, but man, that's a little bit of a scary thought. But I mean, you also have Heavenly, Static, two very solid players in their own right. Heavenly being a bit more balanced, and Static being just a stalwart on defense. Hopefully, Static is able to get into that state where he's being a bit more aggro, but I think he can do it, especially with the players around him. He just really needs to tap into that state, and he'll really start putting some good pressure on these opposing teams.
Yeah, but let's not forget about their opponents here. But their opponents are going to be a little bit different this week. X3 Tactics going to be bringing on a sub, I think, for the first time this season. Rude Boy Brian going to be subbed out this week for Abyss. So that's going to definitely make a bit of a change to the roster here. Shy and Corrupt still there, and you guys know, you can see by the accolades that both of these players have that they are very, very strong in these games. So we're still expecting the same type of X3 Tactics that we know and love, but we are also going to see Abyss here, and I want to really see how they are going to fit into the rotation of X3 Tactics. I have some high aspirations for them, as their last match was pretty decent, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. This X3 team has been very offense heavy, which has worked very well for them. Obviously, they have not lost the series yet. And I agree, Abyss, I think has subbed in twice now, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Abyss had maybe a rougher time on the first game, but then I think coming back the second time, am I just making stuff up? I do think they subbed in twice. In the second series, yeah, the second series they played very well.
Yep.
A lot more comfortable and fit into those rotations well. So I think the role that they're filling into this one, being that more third
rotation kind of defense. I think that'll suit them well, because they've done a pretty decent job defensively, and they've done just a decent job rotationally as well. So I have a lot of faith in Abyss's ability to fill that role. And I don't think it'll be too much of a change up for X3. I think trying to fit them into that rotation.
I mean, yeah, Abyss, first time he got a chance to play, maybe having a little bit of nerves going into that first opportunity, but he was able to get that second chance. Still played a bit better in that second match than he did in that first one. And I mean, if he's able to play even better in that second one in this match, that's going to be a pretty scary proposition, because he played really solid the last time he got the chance to play. So, I mean, Abyss, very solid player. And then, I mean, we all know Shy, we all know Corrupt at this point. They're two fantastic players and can definitely make things a bit easier for Abyss to just be able to fit into these rotations and be able to adapt around Abyss. So, I mean, I think this is still a very scary team despite them needing a substitute for the first time this season, and we'll need to see how it works out for them. So I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, and for people in the chat wondering, this is going to be Abyss's third time subbing in. They are 0-2 right now, but in their second match, they did take BDS all the way to a game 5. And this is with Reverb being on the team already, at least being in as a sub. So taking that team to 5 is not a bad feat at all. Even if you guys lost, that's still a very powerful team. It shows that you've got a lot of potential. Putting them on this X3 roster is going to showcase them even more, especially with a team that is finishing off with Corrupt and Shy and is going to be just as offensive as we expect them to be. I think that third time is the charm for X3 Tactics and for Abyss here, and I think they might be able to take this, but you know that Protogen Rebellion is not going to go down without a fight. Now, Fire, for the last time today, time for you to let us know, what's our predictions for this match?
I mean, this series, it definitely was a bit more one-sided than a lot of the other ones that we had, where everyone chose X3 Tactics. You and Daki chose it in a 5-game series. I chose it in a sweep by the looks of it, which I don't know if I would still choose that now. But and then Aerolax and Aru the Fuzzy both chose it in 4. So I mean, it would be hard to choose against X3 at this point in the season, but Protogen Rebellion, they definitely have the potential to make an upset here, so we'll need to see if they're able to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I think the desk has gone all X3 Tactics. All I can say about that is that might cause a desk curse. We're not sure just yet. We'll have to see. I don't think have we actually desk cursed anybody at all?
In the first 2 weeks, we definitely did, but it's been getting less and less common. So, I mean, who knows? The return of the desk curse. We'll need to see.
Well, with that being said, guys, I think you all are ready for this match. I know I'm ready to see this match. I want to see how this turns out. So, without further ado, it's time to get into our last match of the week. Protogen Rebellion versus X3 Tactics. And we're just going to have to see what these guys have. The Battle of the Greens here. However, X3 Tactics is going to be using a little bit of a different color palette for this match in particular. And we're going to get straight going with this one. As off the kickoff, it is going to go over to the Protogen Rebellion side, and I am finally in here to cast for today, and it is nice to be back on the casting for a little bit. I've had to be quiet a lot of the day. Now I can actually talk and fire. I'm very excited to see what this game has in store for us.
I'm very excited too, and I like seeing Protogen Rebellion just coming out swinging. Getting some really early pressure there. X3 reverses it pretty quickly, but I mean, Protogen Rebellion is not going to be holding any punches this match because they're going to need every single bit of pressure they can get, as we see a big clear get ring out from Static there. Static going for a demo after that. We've seen him go for more of those lately as Heavenly collects it in midfield. Heavenly getting a 50 with Corrupt, but that's going to fall to Abyss where Static is going to need to get a save. Turtles needs to go up for that, but it ends up getting past him. Now we have Abyss alone with no boost, and Static is unable to put that on target. We see Turtles cutting it, but that's just going to fall to Shy. And I mean, we're seeing quite a bit of pressure from both sides so far, and it's looking like a very even matchup.
Yeah, and I am going to be watching. I know we talked about him a lot on the desk, but I am going to be watching Abyss and seeing exactly what they can do here. But Corrupt is going to be the star of the show to start this one off. An excellent goal to start his match right here. And you can see just the tiniest skim, and Heavenly up for that ball, can't really get it. The touch just going straight down and barely touched Corrupt's car. And that is going to be the first goal for X3 Tactics. But as I was saying, I'm going to be looking a lot at Abyss during this game for one reason and one reason only. And that is, we know X3 Tactics has a potential for going and leaving their third man behind. And I expect that to happen a couple of times during this match. So I want to see how Abyss is going to do on the defensive line when you have Static, when you have Turtles shooting at you, and what you're going to be able to do to protect that net. If they can keep it solid, this should be in X3 Tactics' hands on paper, but you never know what's going to happen in a game of Rocket League, as evidenced earlier in RLCS with Gen G winning their regional against the Ultimates today. But this is RFDL. This is the real league that matters for all you guys today. And we're going to see Heavenly try to push this one out. Shy is going to have that touch, and Turtles will clear this out halfway through the game just about, and Protogen Rebellion needing to find one to come back.
I think we're more accustomed to seeing X3 take really early leads and then just hold on to them and get big wins off of it, but Protogen Rebellion just not letting up and just really keeping this game close through the first half of the game. Now we're seeing X3 try to 50 the ball forward. Shy is going to take possession. You don't want to let him flick it. He's very dangerous if you allow him to do that, but they're able to clear the ball out. We see a great pass from Abyss that goes to Corrupt, and Corrupt is going to put that one home, which is a great pass by Abyss to put that middle, and a really solid shot and follow-up by Corrupt to catch Turtles on no boost.
Yeah, and that's just a really good rotation coming in from X3 Tactics, allowing for the second goal. And that's going to put Protogen in a bit of a tight spot. Now, I know that they are definitely working off of low practice right now, as Heavenly just got off work and just got home. Not sure exactly how long Abyss, Shy, and Corrupt have had to practice today, and that might be coming in to benefit them. Now, Heavenly trying to make a touch over towards net, not going to be able to make it, and Abyss gets a really nice clear off of that corner, and we'll be able to move this out. Now, Shy and Abyss both in the net, so no real attacking opportunities coming forward for Protogen Rebellion. Heavenly having to save that one away, but it's going to be Corrupt again. Every time they clear the ball, it just seems like Corrupt is there, and he's really putting the team on his back, getting a hat trick early in game one of the series.
I mean, right now it seems like Protogen Rebellion just sending the ball away when they're trying to clear it out, and maybe keeping a bit more possession so it can't just be put right back towards their half of the field could potentially benefit them a bit going forward. But they do clear it away again, and that's going to force Heavenly to need to get up for that and dunk Shy. We see Corrupt trying to gain possession but gets a heavy touch, and Static is going to send that to the sidewall. Turtles gets the follow-up and is going to try to get another one, but ends up needing to settle for a pinch, which goes along the ground. Heavenly trying to take it off a ceiling, is going to try to get another touch but is not able to get back to it as Shy takes it up and over. Going off of the ceiling, is going to maybe try to get another touch but ends up rotating back. Static with a big clear, and Shy is going to need to rush back to get a save as Turtles gets a 50 on the wall. We see the ball kind of just falls middle, no one wanting it, and seeing Protogen play a bit passively in those sort of situations, and I'd like to see them be a bit quicker to those type of kind of free balls in the middle to be able to put pressure on X3 a bit sooner in those situations.
And the opportunity was there. They saw that the third had moved up a little bit, but the shot was a little bit too weak. Unfortunately, Heavenly's shot is going to be off the post and out, and another opportunity goes by the wayside for Protogen Rebellion, We're going to be looking at this game one and kind of trying to shake it off if I was them. Definitely can come back in a later game. It's only game one, easy enough to try and figure out what went wrong. But as we said, Corrupt showing up for his team, doing so, I think, again, that might have been Abyss actually getting that touch. But without that touch, that could have went into the net. Now, X3 Tactics in a really nice spot where they have seemed to shut out Protogen Rebellion in this game number one, and they will go up in the series.
Yeah, just a really good game by X3. They seem to be very calm, very cool, very collected. Just, they really seem to be in control of this series, and in that game overall, they just look to really be able to control the ball a bit better than Protogen Rebellion. I do want to see Protogen Rebellion take the time that they are allotted, because they seem to just be banging the ball away just that bit too much and relinquishing possession much more than what you can do against a team that is as quality as X3. They don't want to go into a triple match point against this team, so they really need to pick up this game too if they want to stay in this series.
Yeah, I have to agree, and it's just all about shaking off that rust. These guys have not really had a lot of time to play today. They're going to want to just start going and just trying to be a little bit faster to these balls. I'm sure that they're going to find a way to get through this defense, but X3 Tactics has been looking good so far. They're just going to want to keep continuing what they've been doing, and I mean, just getting the ball to Corrupt, that just seems like the best thing for the team right now, as he scored every single goal. And we'll see what they can do in game number two, as we're going to get straight into this one. And we'll see where this kickoff lies as we start here on Urban Central. Shy going to accidentally hit that towards their own net, and that is going to be an own goal to start the series, or start the game. Heavenly getting credited for that off of the kickoff. And Shy, you can see what they wanted there, but they just don't get the right touch. They're pushed a little bit too far backwards in their aerial, and that just goes straight to the net.
I mean, yeah, his name, Shy is EP. Maybe he was a bit too EP to get the proper read on that, which is going to slow him down a little bit. But X3 is going to waste no time putting one back in the net to put them right back at tied. And if I am Protogen Rebellion, I wouldn't have wanted to give that one up so soon, because you just got the momentum from a misplay on the side of X3, and you can't allow them to just get right back into that match by putting one in on a kickoff goal. But two kickoff goals early on in this game, it's all tied up once again, as if neither of them happened. It's a clean slate, they got to keep their heads. Now we see Protogen getting a couple of 50s, but X3 is going to take possession, which allows Corrupt to go for a mechanical play, unable to get it though. Static taking it off a sidewall. He's going to air dribble it all the way down the field and try to put it in the bottom corner. Fantastic play by Static to put that one in the back of the X3 net.
And you can see he goes for the flip reset there. Shy expects him to have that, and then Corrupt trying to play that bounce, but he doesn't expect it to go off of the post. And that's going to allow Static to just punish that one in. Doesn't get the flip, but doesn't exactly need it on that exchange. And that's just a lot of what we see from Static, making some really good decisions on that play and being able to get it through. This is the goal lead that they need, but they cannot let anything go through, as Static is going to get the goal line save on that shot from Shy. But if X3 Tactics are putting on goals like that, you can tell this is going to be a very rough series. The Shy once again goes up for this one, stopped by Turtles, and now Abyss putting this over into the Protogen Rebellion corner. We're going to have to see how they move this out, as the siege that we know X3 Tactics for will start once again. Shy keeping this one up high. Turtles to follow through. Abyss can't get a touch on the ball. 1v1 versus Shy. Turtle gets the win. Corrupt's in an awkward spot, but Heavenly can't get a touch on the ball. And Static was demoed in the backfield. Turtles no touch. And Corrupt gets the second one for X3 Tactics again.
Yeah, I mean, Static goes up to try to challenge that. He just doesn't quite have the boost to be able to get a good challenge on that ball, which is going to allow Corrupt to just snipe it past Turtles. And that's a really good shot as they go for the bot kickoff on Protogen Rebellion, which is going to initially end it in the X3 Tactics side, but it is going to allow for a quick counter as we're getting some midfield plays ringing out here, which is going to fall in favor of X3 more often than not so far this series. And we're seeing a little bit of rotational awkwardness from Protogen Rebellion, which is unorthodox for them. The rotations are typically pretty solid on defense, but they just can't panic. They gotta shake that one off and get back in this game. We see Turtles trying to make a challenge. Shy's going to get it over him, though, as Heavenly tries to snipe one on. Unable to get the shot on target, though. Corrupt trying to take possession. He's going to try to get it middle for Abyss. Great pass, but Abyss is unable to get the power needed to get it past the Protogen Rebellion defense. They're going to try to play it off of wall, but Heavenly is there for the challenge. It's going to bounce middle, but Static gets the beat on Shy. Static is so good at getting there when his team needs them on the defensive side, and that's going to allow Turtles to put a shot on net for Protogen Rebellion, which is going to put them up by 1 halfway through this game.
Not the best touch from Abyss there. You can see what he was trying to do, trying to get it over to that corner, but it bounces off the ground and it doesn't really bounce too high, allowing Turtles to try and get that shot. And Corrupt was up for that, trying to get the read, but Turtle's shot slow enough that it's going to beat out Corrupt. And this is what you want to see from Protogen Rebellion. They're trying to make this one a series, but X3 Tactics has been known to come back from these sort of deficits before. They might have a chance here. Shy getting the touch, but it is going to be Heavenly putting that one away. And it seems like Protogen Rebellion starting to wake up a little bit more. Corrupt, not the best touch. No one going to be there for that one. Shy puts it straight up. Abyss is in a rough position, but Static can't get the touch on net. And that's going to be put over to the side. Now another pass out from Heavenly. No one going to be able to find that in Abyss. Able to clear this out, looking for the counterattack, and rough rotation from Protogen Rebellion almost leads to a tying goal once again. And these sort of mistakes, they're going to be capitalized on if they keep happening. Now another shot from Turtles. It's going to be wide, and those are shots that you need to put in as hard as they are to connect. It just can't be that wide, especially going against this X3 Tactics roster.
Yeah, Protogen Rebellion is definitely not playing perfectly, but they are playing well enough to be in the lead right now, which is always going to be encouraging to them. And, you know, you allow them to get a little bit of momentum. You allow them to maybe get a couple more goals on net, and all of a sudden they're going to be playing much more confidently, and they'll be putting those home. But we see a clear. The pass is going to go back to Corrupt, and that's a textbook team play to allow X3 to tie the game up.
And you see Static wanting to cut that challenge off, but he just can't get there in time. And that pass is absolutely perfect, and it leaves the Protogen Rebellion goal line empty and clear. And once again, we're seeing X3 Tactics do what they do and get the tying goal in the last minute of the game. And this is a lot of what we've seen during the Fox Clan Protogen Rebellion match, and also a lot of the X3 matches. It's just these last-minute touches and these last-minute goals kind of leading to game victories. They're always really close with Protogen Rebellion, but they need to get this one goal, and they're gonna want this one very desperately, as they do not want to try and reverse sweep this X3 Tactics squad. Now, Turtles is going to take possession here, gets it past Corrupt. Heavenly looks for the shot. It's going to be put to the side by Shy. Stack doesn't have a lot of boost. Turtles, no turn on the ball. He turns right in time, and that's going to bounce up. 0 seconds on the clock. Turtles can't get the touch, and we're going to go to OT in game number 2.
And we love to see these OTs. As the kickoff ends up neutral, but Corrupt gets a huge pinch. And he immediately double taps that in, and I don't even know how you're supposed to defend that if you're Static, because that ball just ends up going a million miles an hour towards your side of the field, and then Corrupt just has the mechs to get right back on it and put it on net. So, I mean, that's a rough turn of events for Protogen Rebellion, and now they're in a triple match point situation against the number 1 ranked team in this league.
And I mean, what are you supposed to do in that situation? That pinch is literally perfect, and Corrupt has been playing out of his mind this entire series. I think this is one of the best performances we've seen from him on RFDL in general. He's been scoring like every single shot, and I don't know what he ate today, but I'm gonna need some of that because my goodness, he is playing out of his mind. This is the second hat trick in 2 games for him. I believe he's scored every single goal for his team besides the one from Abyss. And I mean, oh my gosh, you gotta feel for Protogen on that one right there, as it's tough. It's tough to come back from that sort of thing, and they're really going to have to figure out how to bring this to a game number 4. But it's going to be tough for them for sure.
I mean, if you're an X3 Tactics fan, what you're going to be really happy to see is Abyss is filling in that role perfectly and allowing Corrupt to just stretch his legs and be able to put on a bunch of really good challenges down the field, and giving Corrupt that space to be able to stretch his mechanical legs is really something that is good to see out of somebody who may not be quite as familiar with the X3 Tactics rotations, but is just coming in as a free agent and doing the best they can, and Abyss filling in that role spectacularly so far. So, I mean, we'll need to see if Abyss is able to keep that up, because if he is, Corrupt is just going to be able to keep doing what he does, and that's a terrifying proposition for Protogen Rebellion.
Yeah, I have to agree. And as we get into the pivotal game number 3, X3 Tactics now on match point for the next 3 games, if it even gets that far. And I don't want to doubt Protogen Rebellion here. I think that they definitely have what it takes. They looked really good in that second game. It's just that OT started off so badly for them, and it doesn't look like this game is starting off on the right foot for Protogen either. Corrupt, once again, what is that pinch? What is this man even thinking of, going for the ball off of the wall like that? He's going up with these very unorthodox plays, and it's really throwing Protogen Rebellion off kilter, because how are you expecting these challenges to come out from Corrupt when he has no boost? And that's a perfect pass over to Shy. If they keep playing like this, I mean, I don't really see a lot of hope for Protogen, but it's only been 30 seconds and still plenty of time to come back in this game.
There is definitely plenty of time, and if you are going to give up a quick goal, you want it to be right in the beginning of the game, because then you have plenty of time to regroup yourself, and come back.
Oh,
but we see a double bump play, maybe taking a page out of Black Bunny's book to be able to put a second goal in. And I mean, the bump attempt on Static and then the bump coming out on Heavenly is just going to leave the net open for a slow rolling goal, which is going to put X3 Tactics up by 2 within the first minute of this game.
And you just see the dominance from X3 Tactics here. And on the same side, I think you're seeing a little bit of underpreparedness coming out from Protogen Rebellion. And what can you do about that? I mean, you literally have Heavenly, everybody's got lives here in this league. Heavenly has to go to work. You can't just skip that for RFDL. And as soon as he gets home, he has to play against his X3 Tactics roster. No warm-up, no anything. And I'm not sure how much practice Turtles and Static have gotten as well on the day, but it seems like X3 Tactics in particular have been practicing with each other. You can tell in the way they've been rotating. You can tell in the way that they've been going for challenges that they have definitely been grinding at least for a couple of hours before this match, if not days, as they have known that Abyss has been subbing in throughout the week, I think. So I think it's just really good preparation on the X3 Tactics, and just the lack of being able to for Protogen Rebellion leading to this. But we've seen in game number 2 that multiple goals were still scored by Protogen, and they could have won that game if overtime had went their way. So I'm definitely not going to doubt their skills going into this one. But Corrupt is going to have this ball. Not the best touch coming out from Protogen, and that's going to allow for an open net. X3 Tactics up by 3 now.
I mean, Shy just in the perfect spot to take advantage of a little bit of an unfortunate touch on the part of Heavenly there. That's definitely not what he was looking to do. And I mean, that's a good reaction by X3 to be able to put that in the net. So well played to them. But now we're seeing Heavenly cutting that off. Turtle's going to take possession. Turtle's going for the reset, is able to get the little bit of a musty on it. Maybe not as powerful as he wanted, but still a musty nonetheless. Heavenly trying to challenge is going to make it a little bit more awkward for Shy. Shy going for the double tap, unable to get it though. Static getting a good 50. Krupp is going to be there though. Krupp trying to follow it up, is able to beat Turtles back to that ball, and X3 just looks to be playing a bit faster than Protogen right now and is beating them to a lot of these challenges. Now we see Static trying to put that on net, ends up sending it to corner though. And we're seeing Heavenly trying to put it bottom corner, but his Krupp is just there on the defensive front to be able to send that away. And then maybe a bit of hesitation from Protogen Rebellion. That's going to allow for the ball to roll towards their net and allow Abyss to be able to put a shot right down the middle of their net, leading them to be up by 4.
And you can see Corrupt going through the back line there. You know that they were trying to get a demo on that third man. And if they did, that net was as good as open. So you have to dodge that. But that slight hesitation is all that X3 Tactics are going to need to put another shot on net. And down by 4 with 1:35 left, I think you might just be counting this one as a little bit washed and going for your next match next week. But you're going to try and have to fix the goal differential a little bit and maybe try to get this game back under control if you're Protogen Rebellion. It seems like every time I talk about them, they have some sort of mistake. So maybe I just need to talk about X3 Tactics and curse them a little bit, as the cast of curse has been coming out for me in waves today. Now Heavenly going to have this ball up against Abyss, does get the win on the challenge, and a challenge might be able to come through, but no boost for Turtles and no boost for most of Protogen Rebellion. And it's just going to allow X3 Tactics to just continue moving forward. Now Turtles with possession on the wall, 46 seconds left. Corrupt is going to clear this one out. And as time keeps ticking down, Fire, I think this match might be over.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be that way, as we see Static trying to make a save, trying to cut off the potential shot by Abyss, but nothing doing there. And yeah, I think in this one, they're going to try to be keeping the ball out of their net for the rest of this match so they can say, hey, we adapted in that last game and we kept the ball out of our net for the last half of the game. Because they try to put one in as well, but they're unable to get the angle on it to put that in. Great save by X3 Tactics. But I mean, yeah, this game, it was all X3 Tactics pressure almost the entire game. As the ball, it bounces up, potentially one more goal to be had here for that goal differential, which when teams are this close, it can be important, as Shy puts one in for the road, which is going to send this game to a 5-goal diff. And unfortunate for Protogen Rebellion, but they take care of business today.
And for Protogen, you just have to shake this one off. I think you just be like, okay, this wasn't our week. X3 Tactics is at the top of the league for a reason. They have been dominant throughout the entire time. And hopefully they just had some fun with it. They're saying GG's in the chat. Turtle's talking about being crazy. You know, I think they just came in this with an open mindset. And, you know, I think that it's going to be good for X3 Tactics to just take that win. Protogen, you just got to kind of take a look at next week and hope that your next match goes a little bit better than that one. That was not your best showing, but what can you do? It's Rocket League. It's a very volatile game, and X3 Tactics just showed up.
I mean, here's the thing, Fade. Those first 2 games, I saw a lot of really good things out of Protogen once they, especially in that game 2, they started controlling the ball a lot better, and they started giving themselves opportunities because they were controlling the ball down the field against X3 Tactics, and that's why they were seeming to play things a lot closer, and they had a lot more control over the game compared to the first few game, or the first and last game of this series. So if they're able to take that and to be able to continue that into future series, this is still going to be a very bright season for them. So, I mean, they're a really solid team in my eyes still, and if they're able to take that away and they're able to continue that into future weeks, it's going to be a fantastic few weeks for them. So, I mean, well played to X3, well played to Protogen. They certainly showed some adaptability in that game too, and I think that's about all I have to say on this series.
Yeah, and we are gonna try and pull Docky back in here in a second. Let's just go ahead and do that. Docky, I don't know if you're back. Oh, it looks like he's deafened. I think he's still in the middle of trying to watch over some stuff. So I'm gonna tag him, or you could just add him. And tell Docky to get back in here because I want to hear what he thought. Although I kind of have a feeling that he might not have been putting his full attention on the series. Docky, he's now muted. Now he's here. Docky, what do you think about the series that we just witnessed?
I mean, I continue to be as I think that, like I said, both teams are as good as you could expect. I thought that it would be a little bit more or less one-sided going into that, but Crop's just fantastic. So X3 very good, but Protogen also playing well. So hopefully both of them had fun.
Yeah, that is kind of just the hope there. I do hope that everybody had a good time with that, and I mean, we'll just have to see where this goes. But we are gonna take a look here soon. I'm gonna see if I can get the leaderboard figured out before we get going today. But while I'm doing that, can you guys please let me know what are the matches for next week? Because we do have a lot more league play to get through.
We certainly do, Fade. We have tons more league play to get through. That's only week 6 in the books. We have week 7 coming up next weekend. We're just on the master sheet. We have Protogen Rebellion playing against Persian 1, the Static versus Cookie matchup. So we'll need to see if that works out in their favor. We have Fox Clan versus Claude9, Dignipaws against Black Bunny, Luminosity against Big Dragon Squad, Awoptic versus Twisted Tails, and X3 Tactics against Dignipaws. So there are certainly some really entertaining matchups to be had there, and I know I'm going to be really looking forward to that Luminosity and Big Dragon game because that one has the opportunity to be a thriller.
Yeah, I'm for sure have to agree there. Which matches are you guys looking forward to the most here?
I mean, I think I just said mine. So, Docky, what are you looking forward to?
Is it illegal to say my own match?
No.
Yeah, I'll say my own because I'll be the first chance I've had to play against Joshy since last season. So, I say since last season. This will be the going up against Joshy. After teaming with him last season, so that'll be exciting. I think we'll have a lot of fun.
Okay.
Hidden Corp grudge match? Hey, yo!
So unfortunately, what I was trying to do is not working, so I'm not going to be able to update the leaderboard for you guys just at this moment, but we will have that momentarily after the stream ends. So just watch the master sheet today, guys. By the end of the day, it will be updated and everything, so we will know where everybody's at. I can tell you that not a lot of things have changed on the leaderboard. Claude9 has moved above Dignipaws and is in 8th place now, and Black Bunny Gaming has moved in front of BDS and they are now in 3rd place. But besides that, not a lot of huge moves. So watch the master sheet today, guys, and we will have that done. And as for me for next week, if I'm looking forward to a match, I have to say Lumosity versus Big Dragon Squad is going to be very, very interesting. I want to see Meezer and Reverb along against Avid and Aerolex. I think that could make a really good matchup. It might actually end up being our match of the week, depending on what the other production members have to say. But we will be discussing that, and you will find that out during the podcast here on Wednesday. But guys, that is all we have time for today. So once again, I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to congratulate all the winners of this week. You guys played excellent. And to the guys that also ended up losing this week, you guys also played amazingly. And I can't wait to see what all you guys have for next week. So make sure to tune in on Wednesday at 10 p.m. EST as usual, as we will bring on another player and or manager for the RFDL podcast, where we'll talk about the week along with our predictions. And of course, next Saturday at 3 p.m. EST, we will start week number 7 of our league play. We are only 5 weeks away, 6 weeks technically, from the midseason, but 5 weeks away from the end of this first half of league play. You aren't going to want to miss any of these games coming up, as they're going to be really good. And we will see you guys next time. See you all Wednesday for the podcast.
See ya.
Seducing.
What?